Chen rubbed his sore shoulders and climbed up from the narrow rental house. His tired eyes stared at the flashing holographic helmet in front of him. In reality, he is just an ordinary office worker who was laid off. His monthly salary is barely enough to pay off his mortgage. Even his girlfriend ran away because he had no future. But in Jianfu Continent, a holographic VR online game that has taken the world by storm, everything can be turned around. This game is not only a virtual adventure, but also integrates real economy. It is not a dream for the top 10 players on the honor list to earn $1 million a month. Chen took a deep breath, put on his helmet, and his consciousness was instantly immersed in the land of immortality. At the entrance of Novice Village, the sun shines on the blue stone road, and the air is filled with the fresh smell of soil and wild flowers. Chen's character is a basic swordsman with the ID, Qingqing. He has just reached level 5. He only has novice cloth armor and a rusty iron sword. The entrance to the village was bustling with activity. Players were shouting to form teams to slay monsters. The clang of the system announcement came from the distance. The honor list of all servers has been updated. Qin Feng has won 50 games in a row, and his honor value exceeds 10,000. As soon as Chen took a step, he heard harsh laughter coming from the side. 3 players blocked his way. The leader was a green-clad warrior with the ID, King of Mad War, and level 8. He had a rare dagger on his waist, followed by 2 archers and a mage. Their equipment was all marked with the Novice Village Overlord Guild. Their eyes shone with greed, like sharks smelling blood. Hey, isn't this a level 5 noob? Wearing novice cloth armor, haha, brothers, look at this poor guy. The King of Crazy War laughed with his hands on his hips, his voice booming like thunder. Players passing by around him looked sideways, some snickered, and some shook their heads. The air seemed to be filled with the sour smell of ridicule, making Chen's cheeks feel hot. Go away, I didn't mess with you. Chen clenched the iron sword, his voice was calm, but his heart was in turmoil. He knew that Novice Village was a PK paradise, where the strong grabbed equipment and the weak cried for their fathers and mothers. But he just wanted to take on a mission and level up. Have you messed with me? I don't like you. Novice Village is the territory of our Overlord Guild. Please pay the toll of 100 copper coins, otherwise. The King of Mad War smiled grimly and pulled out his battle axe. The axe blade flashed coldly in the sun. The archer behind him had already drawn his bow, and the arrow tip was aimed at Chen's eyebrows. The mage began to chant, a blue magic halo condensed on his fingertips, and the air was filled with an electric burning smell. More and more players gathered around, and some people whispered, "Here we go again, the Overlord Guild specializes in bullying newcomers, this guy is finished." Level 5 versus level 8 trio. Lie down flat, all the equipment will explode. A female player covered her mouth and snickered, look at his broken sword, he can't even release, wind blade slash, it's so funny. Cold sweat broke out on Chen's back. Although the game was holographic, the pain level was adjusted to 80%, making the feeling of being surrounded and killed more real than reality. His health bar is only 800, and the Battle King's battle axe can cut off half of it with one blow. Despair surged like a tide, and he originally wanted to take a detour, but this was the road leading to the village, and behind it was a cliff. He had to jump down and start over. Go! Explode him! The Mad War King roared, raising his battle axe high and slamming it down with a roar of wind. Chen instinctively dodged sideways and blocked with his iron sword. There was a loud clang, his arm was numb from the shock, and his health bar dropped by 200. The archer's arrows were like rain, swishing through the air, the mage's fireball blasted, and the heat wave hit his face. Chen rolled in a panic, the cloth armor on his body was scorched black, and his health bar was left at 30%. Trash! Are you still playing PK with this operation? Kneel down and call me master. The King of Mad War rushed forward, and the axe blade hit his forehead. The surrounding players burst into laughter. It's seconds. The guild is awesome, collect all the equipment. At this critical moment, countless real-life scenes of being humiliated by his boss flashed through Yi Chen's mind. Can't lose. He roared violently, his legs kicked off the ground like springs, and his iron sword thrust back at an incredible angle. This was his hidden talent, extreme manipulation. The tip of the sword pierced the weak spot in the throat of the king of crazy battles, and the system prompt instantly sounded, critical hit. Causes 1500 damage. The Mad War King's eyes widened, and his pupils shrank like needlepoints. What? My health bar is full of blood. His battle axe was still in the air, virtual blood mist sprayed out from his neck, his health bar cleared, and a green wrist guard exploded when he fell to the ground. The air was filled with the smell of blood like rust, and the players around him gasped, holy shit. Counterattack. A level 5 swordsman counterattacked an 8th level warrior. The archers and mages were dumbfounded, with the arrows and fireballs in their hands frozen in place. The boss is dead. This is impossible. The archer fired an arrow in a panic, but Yi Chen rolled over to avoid it. The iron sword swept across and accurately hit the archer's knee, armor-piercing slash. Critical hit 800. The archer screamed and fell to the ground, his eyes full of fear. Your operation is monster level. The mage screamed and retreated. The magic shield barely blocked the sword, but Yi Chen had already bullied him, smashing the shield with his knees, and the sword blade pierced the heart. Final blow. 1200 damage. The mage's blue robe shattered, and the blood bar evaporated. When she fell to the ground, her mouth was still open. This is an illusion. 3 corpses were lying on the ground, and equipment was scattered on the ground. Yi Chen was breathing heavily, with only 5% of his health bar left, but the system voice sounded like the sound of nature. Congratulations to player Chen for winning 1 consecutive PK game. Triggering the hidden mechanism of the honor system, undefeated buff is activated. Experience gain plus 10%, skill points plus 5. The surrounding players were in a panic. A passerby warrior rubbed his eyes. Am I right? Level 5 cloth swordsman, 3 kills of level 8 guild dogs. His operation is amazing. The one the female player had laughed at before turned pale and his voice trembled. The honor system? Is that a flaw in the legend? Stack buffs in a row and double your experience. This guy is going to take off. Another player approached Yi Chen, his eyes shining. Master. Add a friend. What's your extreme evasion talent? He killed 3 people with 5% health bar, and the value panel was blinding. Yi Chen's panel appeared, strength 28, plus 5 skill point bonus, agility 35, honor value plus 30, and experience buff 10%. The jealousy of passers-by burned like fire, and someone whispered, damn, why didn't I discover this loophole? Yi Chen picked up the green wristband and equipped it on his body. His attributes increased sharply by 10%. His heartbeat was racing. There was a bug in this honor system. Undefeated streak, unlimited buff stacks. The road to becoming the king of all servers begins now. In the middle of the village, a village girl NPC wearing coarse cloth suddenly appeared. Her skin is as white as snow and her eyes are as deep as stars. Her ID is Shen Qingqing. As she walked forward, the players around her automatically gave way. Some people whispered, this NPC is so beautiful, I have never seen it before. Shen Qingqing stared at Yi Chen, her voice soft but tentative. Young adventurer, your swordsmanship has scared away the wild dogs in the village. Do you want to take on the hidden mission? But you need to prove your strength. PK winning rate is 100%, otherwise there is no need to talk. She blinked and the system prompted, Shen Qingqing's favorability plus 20, hidden mission unlocking conditions, honor buff reaches 10%. Yi Chen was stunned, the buff was just 10%, he nodded, I'm ready. Shen Qingqing came closer, exhaling like orchids, and the faint fragrance of orchids floated in the air. Very good. There is an elite boss, Blood Shadow Wolf King, in the forest outside the village. It drops a hidden career scroll, and can be transferred to the God-slaying Sword Saint. But, be careful, those guild players are eyeing you. Their president, Qin Feng, has made an announcement: the entire server will hunt down Chen and explode the honor buff. As soon as he finished speaking, the sound of horse hooves came from the entrance of the village, and more than a dozen players from the Overlord Guild came on horseback. The leader of the assassin laughed sinisterly. "Boy, you are dead. Brother Qin Feng personally ordered that all your buffs be blown away." The veins in Yi Chen's sword-holding hand bulged, and he was filled with endless anticipation. "Come on, let the buffs stack up to the limit." The sound of horses' hooves was like thunder, and the sky and sun were blocked by flying dust. The bluestone road at the entrance of Xinshu village was instantly covered with yellow sand, and the air was filled with the pungent smell of horse sweat and rust. More than a dozen Overlord Guild players rushed towards them, led by the assassin ID, Shadow Blade Madman, level 12, with blue rare leather armor flashing on his body, and a poisonous green light wrapped around his dagger. He reined in his mount, locked his cold eyes on Yi Chen, and said with a cruel arc at the corner of his mouth, "Boy, you are the one who killed our 3 brothers. Brother Qin Feng's pursuit order, a bounty of 500 silver coins. Brothers, go ahead. Explode his buff." The surrounding passers-by players screamed and scattered, and someone shouted, "The Overlord Guild team is here, Master Chen is going to be cold." The female player from before turned pale and her legs were weak. The leader of a level 12 assassin, equipped with a level 10 bow skill, how can a level 5 novice carry it? No matter how awesome the buff is, it's useless. Another passerby, a warrior, shook his head and sighed. The PK paradise in Novice Village has turned into hell. This kid crashed as soon as he took off. It's a pity that operation. Yi Chen's health bar was only 5% left, the novice's cloth armor was charred and tattered, the rusty iron sword was slippery in his palm, and his heart was beating like a war drum. Surrounded by more than a dozen people, rain of arrows, fireballs, and flashes of assassins are ready to attack, and the shadow of death is like a giant net. Despair was like icy water, and he gritted his teeth and whispered, "It's just the right time, try the taste of this buff." The Shadow Blade Demon flashed with a ferocious smile, and pierced Yi Chen's back with the dagger, poisonous shadow sting. "I'll kill you in a second." The poisonous wind blew against his face, and the green mist whizzed closer. Yi Chen's ultimate talent exploded, his steps slid sideways like a ghost, his iron sword blocked with a backhand, ding. Sparks flew everywhere, poisonous mist passed by him, burning pain shot up his arms, and his health bar almost dropped to 1%. Passers-by around him gasped, "Did it? He's dodging poisonous shadow stabs with 1% health. This operation is inhumane." The assassin was stunned, his pupils dilated. "Fuck. How is it possible, a skill with a 99% hit rate?" Yi Chen didn't let him breathe, and the sword pointed like electricity and stabbed at the weak point, armor-piercing slash. Critical hit 1200. The Shadow Blade Madman's blood bar dropped by half, and he staggered back, his voice trembling. "My blue leather armor defense plus 15, how can it be broken? Is this swordsman's panel fake?" The guild archers drew their bowstrings to full length, and arrows poured down like a torrential rain, making a piercing sound as they whizzed through the air. Yi Chen rolled to dodge, the dust hit his nose, and the sound of wind grazing the arrow tail against his hair made his scalp numb. Taking advantage of the situation, he jumped up and swept the first archer's knees with his iron sword. Final blow. 800 damage. The archer fell to the ground with a howl, his eyes widened. "God, have mercy. My agility is 42, how did you catch up?" A green longbow burst out. The mage chanted the fireball, heat waves rolled in, and the air twisted and made a sizzling sound. Yi Chen rolled in low, smashed the magic shield with his knees, and stabbed straight with the sword, critical hit 1000. The mage screamed, "The shield is broken. My magic resistance is 25, you are a physical swordsman." The corpse collapsed and the blue robe exploded. The guild players panicked, and the leader, the Shadow Blade madman, roared, "Don't be afraid. Beat him in a group. He's garbage with 1% health." The remaining 8 people pounced on him, slashing with axes, choppers, and roaring light effects of their skills. Chen felt as if he was in an uninhabited land, dodging to the limit in a row, his footsteps leaving afterimages in the dust, and he would kill every time he dodged. The sword light flashed, and blood spurted from the throat of a warrior. "My full health is 2000 HP, 1 sword second. Honor buff bonus." Passers-by players gathered around, their voices trembling. 5 kills. 1% of Qin Ying's blood is still being harvested, and the panel value is blinding. 10% experience buff keeps stacking. The system resounded. Congratulations to player Chen Qingqing for winning 5 consecutive PK games. Undefeated buff upgrade, experience gain plus 50%. Skill points plus 25. Level upgrade, level 6, level 10, level 15. Unlock the warrior skill tree, frenzy slash, sword aura. Golden light flashed around Chen, his health bar was restored to full, the novice cloth armor was automatically repaired, his strength soared to 55, plus 25 skill points, his agility was 68, and his panel appeared like a divine weapon. The passerby warrior rubbed his eyes and screamed, "Level 15. The 5-kill experience is off the charts, the buff stack is 50%, and the upgrade speed is the fastest in the server." The female player's eyes were shining, and her voice was trembling, "Master, I was wrong. Add a friend, your extreme operation talent, the agility panel can crush the assassin." The Shadow Blade madman is the captain of the team. Before he died, he exploded with a shining golden sword, God-slaying blade. Attack plus 20%, with God-slaying blow, the blade buzzes like a dragon's roar. Chen equipped his upper body, which felt heavy but smooth, and his strength increased by another 15 points. The envious eyes around him were like burning, rare golden equipment. Exclusive to the squad leader, plus 20% attack value, this kid became rich overnight. In the center of the village, Shen Qingqing walked towards her, her graceful figure under the coarse cloth, and the fragrance of orchids drifting in the wind. She stared at Chen, her deep eyes flashing with amazement. "Adventurer, your sword has killed 5 enemies, and the honor buff is 50%, proving that you are qualified. Hidden mission update, Blood Shadow Forest outside the village, kill the Wolf King mob group, and obtain the Certificate of Honor. Hand in the evidence, and I will give you the God-slaying Sword Master Scroll. Be careful, there are elites in the wolf pack, so the pain will be doubled." Chen nodded, holding the God-slaying blade in his hand, and his heart was surging. "Thank you, Sister Qingqing, Wolf King monster. Here he comes." He turned and ran to the outside of the village, and passers-by players followed and watched, whispering, "Do hidden tasks with the master. Honor buff 50%, share experience with me." Shen Qingqing smiled and watched as the system prompted, favorability plus 30, task progress 10%. In the Blood Shadow Forest outside the village, the shadows of the gloomy trees are whirling, the smell of blood and putrefaction is tangy, and the ground is covered with scratches from wolf claws. 10 elite Blood Shadow wolves pounced out, with red eyes and ferocious fangs, and claws and blades flashing with cold light. Each was level 15, with HP 3000 and a fast attack speed. The leading Wolf King cub roared, the sound was deafening and the air vibrated. The passerby player stopped, his face was ashen. "Elite group. One-on-one fight with 10, the wolf claws tear the debuff, slow down by 50%. The master's health bar will evaporate." A passerby archer swallowed his saliva. "I teamed up with 5 people to kneel down after brushing, this operation is awesome." Chen took a deep breath of the rancid air and held up the God-slaying blade. "Come on, stack the buff." The wolves rushed towards him, claws roared, and the first wolf's claws slashed straight into the chest. He dodged sideways like the wind, and his sword energy swept horizontally, sword energy vertically and horizontally. Range critical hit 2000 by 5. The health bars of the 5 wolves were cleared, wolf skins and fangs exploded, and the system rang, victory 6 games. Light yellow plus 60%. The remaining wolf beast went crazy, besieging and biting, its fangs dripping green liquid and corroding the ground. Chen dodged perfectly, his footsteps gliding silently on the fallen leaves, stabbing the weak point with every dodge, frenzy slash. Single target 3000. The wolf howled fiercely, spraying blood mist, dyeing the tree trunks red. Passers-by screamed, 100% evasion rate. The wolf pack's AoE claw attack missed all, his agility panel was over 100, right? An elite wolf leapt up and pounced on its back, its claw blade grazed the wrist guard, a burning pain shot through its body, and its health bar dropped by 20%. Chen roared and turned around, and the god-slaying blade erupted with golden light, god-slaying strike. 5000 armor penetration. The wolf's head exploded, and the body hit the ground with a muffled sound. The system was ecstatic, 10 wins. Light yellow plus 80%. Skill points plus 40. Honor value plus 200. Rivers of blood flowed in the forest, wolf corpses lay everywhere, and the air smelled rich of blood and rust. Chen gasped and stood still, the panel's brilliance, level 15, strength 98, agility 112, experience gain plus 80%, mission progress 50%, the certificate of honor has been obtained, and the crystal stones shine with golden light. Passers-by players knelt down and worshipped, God. Challenge the wolves alone, buff 80%, invincible on the whole server and take off. The great God will take me flying. Shen Qingqing system voice sounded, I got the certificate of honor, turn in the follow-up mission to unlock it. But, be careful. Before he finished speaking, the shadows of the trees outside the forest shook, and the Blood Shadow Wolf King finally appeared. The level 20 boss is as big as a calf, with blood-red hair standing on end, claws digging at the ground, and a roar that shakes the sky, ouch. HP 10,000, skills, Blood Shadow Tear, Wolf Soul Summoning, black mist billows around him, and the stench of decay is like a pile of corpses. At the same time, the surrounding bushes exploded, and the Qin Feng Guild scouts appeared. The elite team of 20 people, the leader of the Assassin ID, Wind Shadow Killer, level 18, holding a purple light dagger, sneered, Brother Qin Feng is here to take command, Chen, we will collect all your buffs. The Wolf King boss plus the guild will surround you, kneel down. Arrows and fireballs are gaining momentum, and murderous intent is everywhere. Chen held the god-slaying blade tightly, his health bar was full but his heart felt chilly. The Wolf King's huge claws struck, the ground cracked and dust flew, and the guild's skills roared. Passerby players screamed and fled, double crisis. Boss plus guild, Master Chen is going to overturn. Desperation weighed down, but Chen's eyes were filled with enthusiasm, buff 80%, come on, the road to slaying gods, counterattack against heaven. The 20 elites of the guild moved together, the rain of arrows covered the sky like locusts, the fireball roared and the heat wave distorted the air, the mage's chant was as sharp as a ghost crying, and the axe warriors' charging footsteps shook the ground. Passerby players watched from a distance, their faces as pale as paper. An archer passerby had trembling legs and a trembling voice, Wolf King boss plus 20 elites to kill. Blood Shadow Tear debuff slows down by 50%, and Chainying's agility of 112 can't handle it. The dream of killing the new village leader is shattered, and the whole server is laughing. Another female player covered her mouth and screamed, the guild deputy Feng killer, the level 18 purple dagger attack plus 30%, the armor penetration is 2000, the team leader just knelt down, this guy's 70% health will be reduced to 0. The giant claws of the Wolf King tore through the air like iron hooks, the howling wind was harsh, the blue stones on the ground shattered, the dust was sprayed like smoke bombs, and the blood shadow forest instantly turned into a Shura field. The claw blade grazed Yi Chen's shoulder, and the novice's cloth armor tore open. The burning pain was like a whip, and the health bar dropped by 30%, leaving only 70%. Immediately afterwards, the Fengying killer flashed behind him, the purple light dagger buzzed with poisonous gas, shadow poison combo, exploded, and the green mist swished closer to his heart. Die, Chen. Brother Qin Feng said, I will blast you and get all the buffs. The golden light of the god-slaying blade skyrocketed, and the sword energy swept across like a tornado, sword energy vertical and horizontal. Range 3000 by 8. The 8-path archer mage's health bar was cleared, and the corpse hit the ground with a muffled sound. Green and blue equipment exploded and scattered in the forest, and the blood mist sprayed and dyed the fallen leaves red. The wind shadow killer's pupils shrank suddenly and his voice trembled, fuck. 8 AoE kills. My team's defense panel averages 20, and your level 15 swordsman's output exceeds 3000. The panel is cheating. The guild warrior rushed forward with a roar, the axe blade roared, Yi Chen rolled to the ground, and the rotten smell of fallen leaves hit his face. Smashed his leggings with his knee, and stabbed his throat with, frenzy slash, critical hit 4000. The soldier's head exploded, and the smell of brain matter filled the air. Passers-by gasped, 10 people were killed in reverse. The health bar is still 50%. The operation is perfect under the siege of the wolf spirit. Has the agility broken 120? The Wolf King went crazy and swept away with his giant tail. The tree trunk broke and collapsed, and sawdust flew like shrapnel and scratched his face. Yi Chen jumped up to dodge, the tail wind brushed against him, and he took advantage of the situation to swoop down and thrust the god-slaying blade straight into the wolf's eyes, god-slaying strike. Armor penetration 5000. The Wolf King's HP dropped to 7000, his blood-red eyes flashed with hatred, and he howled like thunder shaking the forest, making the ground tremble. The 10 remaining members of the guild were in panic. The wind shadow killer flashed and stabbed continuously, and the dagger blocked and blocked sparks, 99% of my combo hits, all misses. What is your dodge rate? Yi Chen counterattacked with his sword, with a critical hit of 3200. The wind shadow killer's health bar was in the air, he staggered back, and the purple dagger fell to the ground with a buzzing sound. Yi Chen's heart was beating wildly, the smell of sweat mixed with blood slipped into his eyes, his vision was blurred, and the shadow of death was drowning like a tide. The Wolf King's roar was deafening, wolf soul summoning, black mist billowed, 5 wolf spirits jumped out, and the stench of minions filled his nostrils. The guild's arrows whizzed, and the first one penetrated the wrist guard. The pain was like an electric shock, and the health bar dropped another 15%. Overwhelmed with despair, he growled, "Want to take my buff? Dream on." His extreme talent exploded, his steps were like shadows in the wind, his agility was 112, he slid sideways to avoid the wolf's claws, and he turned around with his sword in the flying dust. The Wolf King, blood shadow tear, erupted, and the black mist claws and blades around him danced wildly, the air was torn, and deep grooves were dug out on the ground, and the soil was flying. Yi Chen's health bar almost dropped by 20%, the pain was like thousands of needles piercing the bones, the corrosion debuff was superimposed and slowed down by 30%, and his steps were heavy as if he were stuck in a quagmire. The last 5 members of the guild took advantage of the situation and pounced on them, bombarded with fireballs and arrows, heat waves scorching their skin, and the sound of the wind was killing them. In a desperate situation, he gritted his teeth and exploded his skill points plus 70 all-in agility, with the value soaring to 150 agility. Coming. The ghost's footsteps accelerated, the sword light was like a net harvesting, 5 people were lying dead, and the explosive purple armor clanked to the ground. The wind shadow killer glared before death, "Brother Qin Feng, take revenge, you buff, monster." The system clanged, win 20 consecutive PK games. Undefeated buff upgrade, experience gain plus 120%. Skill points plus 50. The Wolf King is isolated, with HP 4000. He roars to summon the remaining souls. The blood mist fills the area and blurs the vision. The stench is like a mountain of corpses. Chen gasped, his health bar was 25%, sweat and blood dripped down the blade and sizzled. He took a deep breath of blood and raised the god-slaying blade. I challenge you. The Wolf King's huge claws smashed down, and Chen rolled down. The wind from his claws caused the tree roots to break. He jumped on the wolf's back and stabbed the weak spot on the back of the neck with the blade, frenzy/combo. 6000 by 3. The Wolf King's HP dropped wildly, the fur tore apart and blood spurted out, and the birds and beasts fled with howls that shocked the sky. Passers-by knelt down and worshipped, battle against the boss. The output panel exceeds 10,000, the dodge is perfect, the level 20 Wolf King kneels down to the level 15 swordsman. The first kill in the entire server is scheduled. The eyes of a passerby player widened, and a warrior passerby rubbed his eyes and screamed, Wolf King boss plus elite surrounded, but 20 people were slaughtered. 40% of Qinqing's blood is still being harvested, and 80% of the honor buff experience is soaring. This operation is unique in the whole server. I am crying with jealousy, my agility is only 35. The female player's hands trembled, and she whispered in admiration, the great god is invincible, the wolf spirit claw attack all flashes, the panel is blinded, the god-slaying blade golden armor plus 20% attack, take off. The Wolf King counterattacked on the verge of death, and, wolf soul summoning, finally broke out. The 10 wolf spirits merged into giant black claws and fluttered into the sky, and the rotten stench was like the gates of hell opening. Chen's health bar was almost empty, and he was burning with pain, but his eyes were filled with enthusiasm, god-slaying. He flashed to the extreme side, with an agility of 150 and left an afterimage, the god-slaying blade exploded with golden light, god-slaying strike is the ultimate. Armor penetration 8000. The Wolf King's head exploded, flesh and blood flew across the ground, and the body was limp. Rivers of blood flowed in the forest, and the smell of rust was strong and pungent. Golden light soared into the sky, Chen's body flashed with divine brilliance, his health bar was full, his strength soared to 250, plus 150 skill points, his agility reached 288, his faceplate appeared like a god and demon, his novice cloth armor was upgraded with a gold edge, and the god-slaying blade buzzed and ascended to the spirit. The job transfer is successful, the shadow of the god of war surrounds him, his muscles are bulging with strength, and his skill tree is fully activated. Passerby players screamed wildly, and an archer's eyes were bloodshot and his voice was hoarse, level 25. The whole village's first kill announcement flooded the screen, buff 200%, experience gain doubled, this upgrade speed is incredible. The honor list reached the top 100, my level is only 10, the gap is as big as the sky. The female player sat down and worshipped, the hidden job of the god of war, the god of slaughter. The only one in the whole server, the output panel crushes the king, Master Qingqing, and brings girls. System-wide announcements rang out like thunder, village announcement, player Qingqing kills the hidden boss Blood Shadow Wolf King in the Novice Village for the first time. Honor value plus 1000. Drops, God-slaying God of War job transfer scroll, hidden profession, God level rare. Invincible buff stack plus 200%. Level increase, 16, 20, 25. Unlock the unique skill, Honorary Fury, PK victory buff doubled and stacked. Chen laughed ecstatically, all the suffocation in his chest was released, his strength was like a volcano erupting, and the surrounding zombie guild players resurrected and moved away. Before leaving, he growled jealously, Brother Qin Feng will not let you go. He picked up the Wolf King burst drop, complete gold crystal of certificate of honor plus heart of the Wolf King, and the system prompted, 50% of the hidden mission is completed, return to Shen Qingqing to deliver it. Players from the whole village flocked to watch and worship, great God. Kill the god-slaying god of war for the first time, lead us to gain honor. Yi Chen's heart was surging, and with a wave of the god-slaying blade, the sword energy split the ground, and the power crushed the air and buzzed. Thank you, Sister Qingqing, see you in the next stage. Just as he was about to leave, Lin horse hooves thundered outside, and dust covered the sky. The vice president of the Qin Feng guild, the Blood Blade Demon Lord, led 50 elites and rushed towards them. The level 25 sword flashed with blood and roared, Brother Qin Feng ordered to destroy all Chening. The copy is blocked, and the Novice Village turns into a slaughterhouse. Arrows rained down and the sea of fire gathered momentum, and murderous intent was like a net. Shen Qingqing teleported to the edge of the forest of blood shadows. The fragrance of orchids wafted from his coarse cloth, and his eyes twinkled in surprise. Adventurer, you slay the Wolf King, become the god of war, and have an honor buff of 200%, unprecedented. Hand in the certificate of honor, the mission progress is 100%, and the next stage is unlocked. Middle level map, Netherworld Canyon, kill the guardian beast and get the scroll of the god-slaying sword master. Be careful, the Overlord Guild's all-server pursuit order will be upgraded, and the reward will be 5,000 gold. She took the gold crystal in her jade hand, felt the electric shock with a soft touch, and gained 50 favorability. The light from the scroll entered her body, and Yi Chen's faceplate increased again. The buzzing of the blue light portal dissipated, and Yi Chen kept his feet on the ground. The cold mist of the Netherworld Canyon touched his cheek like a ghostly finger, and the musty smell of decaying leaves mixed with the sulfur heat wave hit his nostrils. The black rocks on both sides of the canyon stand like the fangs of the devil. The vines on the cliffs are entangled and dripping with slime, corroding the ground and emitting white smoke. There are faint wolves howling and ghosts crying in the distance. The sunlight during the day is also swallowed up by the thick fog, leaving only a gray field of vision. The low wind howls echo in the air like the whispers of the dead. This is an intermediate map, with monster levels 25 to 35. Players will lose 50% of their honor value when they die. The noobs in Novice Village dare not set foot on it, and the Overlord Guild only dares to send elite teams to explore the way. Yi Chen was still gasping for breath, the god-slaying blade was clenched in his palms, which were cold. The health bar was full but the debuff remained, and the speed was reduced by 10%. His agility was temporarily reduced from 288 to 260. He glanced at the panel, Honor Fury's 400% buff was boiling, his experience gained soared like a rocket, and his strength was 250, which was twice as strong as that of an ordinary person. His heart was filled with vigilance. 50 elites of the Blood Blade Demon King are chasing me. The entrance to the canyon is blocked. If you fight hard, you will lose. Just as he was about to sneak into the depths, the rear portal suddenly exploded with red light, and 10 Qin Feng guild squads flashed. The leading assassin, Ghost Shadow, was level 25. He swallowed poisonous mist with double daggers and purple light. The attack speed on the panel was 2.5 per second, and the guild badge flashed on his back tattoo. Chen, the little mad dog, ran into the slaughter god cemetery to die. The ghost laughed without a trace, his voice was as hoarse as scraping iron, the dagger whirled and buzzed, and the poisonous green mist filled his nose. Brother Qin Feng personally ordered, the reward is 500 gold plus your buffs are all exploded. Brothers, come on, the shadow poison formation seals the road. The team of 8 assassins and 4 archers moved together, arrows whizzing through the fog, poison needles biting into the rock wall and acid bubbles forming, and the ground instantly became a dead zone. Yi Chen dodged sideways, the wind of the arrow brushed against his shoulder, the first arrow pierced his cuff, the pain was like fire, and his health bar dropped by 8%. The assassins surrounded him like a pack of wolves, their daggers weaving a network of cold light, tearing the air. He rolled to the ground, the mud was wet and sticky, and a musty smell entered his nose. Passers-by screamed and scattered. The vice president leads a team of 50 people. Level 25 blood blade plus 30% blood sucking, Chen has just changed his job and is in trouble. Yi Chen's pupils shrank, and his ecstasy turned to chills. It's too late to fight hard. Honor Fury was activated, and the buff doubled by 400%. His footsteps were like thunder, and he jumped into the portal of the intermediate map, and the blue light engulfed the figure. The Blood Blade Demon Lord smashed his dagger into the air, and a crater exploded on the ground. Run away. Chase him. Kill him on the intermediate map Netherworld Canyon. The sound of pursuit in the forest faded away, the crisis reappeared, and the bloody battle on the road to slay the gods continued. The shadow of despair overcame him. Yi Chen's eyes were filled with salty sweat, he couldn't stop coughing due to the poisonous mist, and his steps were as heavy as lead. The ghost flashed behind him without a trace, shadow poison combo, exploded, the purple dagger buzzed and pierced the back of the heart. Explode your golden blade plus light yellow. Brother Qin Feng is #1 on the honor list and accept it. Yi Chen's heart was beating wildly, and he roared, want to harvest? Ask me the god of slaughter first. Honor Fury was activated, the buff was churning like a volcano, the ultimate talent exploded, the agility of 288 ghosts slid sideways, and the sparks of the dagger mist rubbed his arms warmly. He turned around and the golden light of the god-slaying blade surged, sword Qizongheng. Range 4000 by 10. The passing individual players stopped at a distance, and a level 20 mage passerby stared and rubbed his eyes, his voice trembling, Overlord Guild Ghost Team. All level 25 assassins, shadow poison debuff reduces agility by 40%, attack speed 2.5, chaining entrance is blocked, and the first kill of the Novice Village boss is 25. Even the super god of war must kneel down. All 1230 honor points have been lost. I'm crying. The archer's legs went weak and he whispered jealously, look at his board, his agility is 288. It's fake. Our assassins are at most 180, and the buff is 400%. It's better to die, so as not to force us to upgrade. Guiying Wu Trace's pupils shrank suddenly, the dagger was frozen in the air, and his voice trembled, fuck. Triple kill AoE. Our defense panel is 25 plus shadow armor reduces damage by 30%, and your output exceeds 4000. The level 25 god of war is hidden, and the panel cheating is shady for the whole server. The remaining 7 people panicked, and the archer's arrow rain came and the wind was killing them. The system resounded in his mind, win 23 consecutive PK games. Undefeated buff upgrade plus 300%. Skill points plus 30. The panel flashed, the skill tree skyrocketed, and he gritted his teeth in ecstasy, here you go, speedy/unlocked. Agility plus 50 temporarily, 338. The new skills poured into the meridians like electric current, Yi Chen's footsteps turned into afterimages, and the ghost shadow swooped down amidst the howling wind, speed/. Attack speed 5.0, armor penetration 5000. The sword light flashed 10 times in a row, the ghost shadow's health bar was in the air, the purple dagger fell to the ground, buzzed and broke, and he stared at death. Roaring, impossible. 99% combo miss. Your dodge rate is over 80%. Brother Qin Feng, his buff. The corpse lay on the ground, bursting with intermediate purple shadow boots plus 20% agility. Yi Chen picked up the instant equipment, and the purple light on his feet was as light as a swallow. The 6 remaining members of the team retreated into the fog. The archer charged up, explosive fire arrow, and the heat wave distorted the air. The fireball roared and approached. Yi Chen activated quickly, the afterimage traced the canyon, the sword energy swept across the 2 bows to clear them, the corpse explosion green bow clanged to the ground, and the bloody heat wave hit his face. His health bar dropped by 12%, and the poison debuff corroded and hurt like an ant bite, but the buff experience increased by 300%, and his strength soared to 280. Suddenly, frost exploded deep in the canyon, and the cold air cut like a knife into the face. A beautiful figure flashed in the white mist, the beautiful ice and snow mage Tang Yue, level 22, with a blue gauze robe wrapped around her exquisite figure, her snow-white skin reflected the cold light, and her long hair was dancing with ice crystals. She chanted, 10,000 miles frozen, and the two assassins were frozen by the rolling waves of frost. The blood bars of the ice shattered with a crisp sound, but the 5 black-robed assassins behind her pounced on them. The leader was the level 24, Ghost Crazy Sword. The blood axe whirled and buzzed, "Traitor Tang Yue, how dare you fight within the guild? Brother Qin Feng gave you a bounty for your ice god scepter," all explode. The eyes of the individual players widened, and a mage passerby screamed with trembling hands, "Kill 4 people in counterattack. 300% buff stack, and skill points are unlocked so fast. It takes us a day to level up, and his PK is like drinking water. He is so jealous that he vomits blood, and his honor value is 1,230 plus 50 new kills. Are you in the top 50? The archer knelt down and worshipped, with a hoarse voice, speed killing S-level skills. The attack speed is 5.0, and the assassin king is invincible. The health bar of the 4 people is 95%, and the whole server is taken off. Yi Chen's pupils shrank, and he was ecstatic, beauty in crisis, save. The speedy slash exploded, and the afterimage penetrated the fog and penetrated the back of the ghost's mad knife, god-killing blow. 6,000 crit. The axe's head exploded, the hot brains sprayed on the rock wall, the corpse collapsed with thunder, and the intermediate blood axe plus 25% power was scattered. Tang Yue was stunned, her beautiful eyes widened, and the ice staff stopped chanting, "Yu, Qingqing." The leader of the Novice Village killed the Wolf King legend, buff 300% slaughtered the Overlord team. Save my life, perfect operation, speed 5.0 blind. The remaining 4 assassins pounced angrily, poisonous daggers whizzed, Yi Chen's sword net was woven, sword chi vertical and horizontal, swept across the field, corpses lay across the river of blood, and the stench of rotten mist filled the air. The system announcement exploded, player Qinqing's PK victory plus 4. Undefeated buff maintained at 300%. Honor value plus 200, total 1430. Kill the inner ghost boss and drop, intermediate god of war suit, breastplate plus leggings plus bracelet, plus 40% strength/agility, full set effect, speedy kill CD minus 50%, honor buff plus 100%. Yi Chen is instantly equipped, covered in golden and red armor, with bulging muscles of 320 strength and 388 agility. The panel is like a god and demon coming to the world, and the god-slaying blade buzzes and resonates. Tang Yue came closer, the scent of orchid mixed with blood, and her jade hand caressed his armor, feeling a warm and soft electric shock. "Master, thank you for helping me. I am Tang Yue, the vice president of Shuanghua Guild, and I have a full-level ice and snow mage skill tree. The ghost just wanted to sell me to Qin Feng to get the first kill in the Netherworld Canyon dungeon. Your buff is invincible, how about forming a team? Invite you to join the guild and take the vice president's seat." Tang Yue's face was pale, her staff's ice glow dimmed, and her health bar was only 40%. She gasped and screamed, "You are the devils, you are trying to get the first kill in the dungeon to sell Qin Feng. Don't even think about it." The axe blade whizzed at her, but she couldn't dodge, and the corners of her clothes were torn in the cold wind. Players watched from a distance and gasped, "Is that Tang Yue, the vice president of the Frost Flower Guild? The top ice and snow mage, the ice debuff slows down by 60%, how can he be chased by the inner ghost? The blood is 40% cold, and the infighting in the canyon is escalating." Passers-by players crowded around and buzzed, and a mage passerby screamed with bloodshot eyes, "Full intermediate set. Plus 40% dual attributes, 400% buff stack. Qinqing's panel strength is 320, agility 388, level 25 crushes the level 35 king. Jealousy. We are so jealous that we, the Shuanghua Guild, are dragging him along, and the Qin Feng Guild is crying." The archer passers-by collapsed and worshipped, "Save the goddess Tang Yue, kill the evil spirit, reach the top 30 with 1430 honors, quick kill plus half of the set CD, the PK machine of the whole server, take it with you. Before he finished speaking, the earth shook deep in the canyon. The Blood Blade Demon Lord led 30 elites and rushed out of the sea of mist with murderous intent. His great sword breathed blood and sucked blood by 30%, and roared like thunder, Qingqing. Tang Yue, the traitor, kills brother Qin Feng in one fell swoop. The first one to kill brother Qin Feng in the copy. Arrows and fireballs gathered momentum, murderous intent surged. Chen held the sword and laughed wildly, with buff 400% boiling, here we come, just in time to try out the suit. Sister Yue, open the way through the ice and harvest quickly. Tang Yue raised her staff high, frost waves rolled, the canyon turned into a glacial battlefield, new challenges were in full swing, and the road to slaying gods was stained with blood in the netherworld. Chen laughed, the blood boiling in his chest, and the golden light of the armor reflected the mist of the canyon. Okay, temporarily group. Shuanghua Guild has heard of it, the backbone of the resistance against Qin Feng. Tang Yue smiled sweetly, and the invitation to form a team flashed, and the system confirmed that the panels of both sides showed up. She gasped, oh my god. God Slaughter the god of war has a hidden role, and the heart of the Wolf King is in the backpack. The bastard Qin Feng is planning to kill the guardian beast of the Netherworld Canyon and kill the Sword Master Scroll plus the artifact. Let's join forces and kill him without leaving any traces. The blood of the Blood Blade Demon Lord's great sword surged. 30 elites surged in like a tide. The axemen and heavy shield soldiers raised their weight in unison. Their footsteps made the canyon gravel roll down and jingle, and cracks on the ground snaked like spider webs. The sulphurous heat wave mixed with the bloody and rotten stench hit your face, the mist was full of archers' arrows, and the roar of fireballs twisted the air and made it pungent. The level 25 great swordsman of the Blood Blade Demon Lord crushed the panel, with a strength of 380, sucking 30% of the blood. The debuff effect, Blood Blade Frenzy, reduced the player's defense by 50%. He roared like thunder and exploded the brain, Qingqing puppy, Tang Yue bitch. Brother Qin Feng doubled the bounty, 10,000 gold plus stripped all your buffs. Brothers, the sea of blood formation formed, blocking the way out. The elites moved together, the blood network was woven with red light, and the air was torn. The casual players on the roadside retreated far away. A passerby, a level 23 warrior, knelt on his knees with weak legs. His voice trembled like chaff, the Blood Blade Demon Lord personally leads 30 elites. A full level 25 bloody battle suit with unlimited blood-sucking life. Our guild's hundreds of people even kneeled down when they entered the canyon. Qingqing's blood is 83%, Tang Yue's 40%. No matter how high the buff is, the honor is all 1430. Qin Feng has the last laugh. The ice crystals of Tang Yue's staff jingled, her beautiful eyes flashed pale, and the scent of orchids was mixed with blood. She bit her lips and whispered, Qingqing, the Demon King's ultimate move, blood sea swallowing sky, sucks blood in a wide range. The ice seal cannot open the entire field, and I can't control the archers in the back row. Yi Chen's heart sank, the golden red glow of the god of war armor reflected the sweat on his face, his agile 388 steps were like lead, the poisonous mist left him choking, and his health bar was 83% like candlelight in the wind. The first wave of arrows and fireballs came, the heat wave burned his skin and the pain was like burning. He dwarfed Tang Yue and rolled to the ground. The smell of wet mud and slimy mold entered his nose. The aftermath of the explosion was accompanied by red scars on his arm caused by rubble, and he lost 5% of his blood. Fuck, the suppression is too harsh. Sister Yue, believe me, honor fury is on 400%, tank your back. He roared, his voice was hoarse and his blood was rushing up. Tang Yue gently held his armor, the touch was soft and electric, and her beautiful eyes were firm. Okay, the master is hard in the front row. Resist, I'm freezing monsters, try to get perfect tacit understanding. The team tacit understanding buff instantly increased by 20%, and the skill combo was increased. She gasped when the panel showed, strength 320, agility 388. The set has a speed of half, and the hidden role of the god of killing is unsolvable. The passerby mage glared and rubbed his eyes, and screamed with jealousy, "We have formed a team." The frost flower goddess pulls the god of 2, and 30 blood blades dare to be tough. We are alone watching the show, and it is better to die, so as not to grab the first kill of the copy. The blood blade demon lord dived with a ferocious smile, and the blood sword swept across, blood sea swallowing sky, erupted, the red wave rolled like a tsunami, the hot blood mist swallowed up the field of vision, and the elite axe struck the shield with a loud clang in death. Chen pushed Tang Yue sideways, and the sword blade rubbed against his shoulder. His health bar dropped by 22% to 61%. The pain was like thousands of ants biting his bones. He gritted his teeth and laughed wildly, "Suppress first and then raise, come on." Honorary Fury is activated, buff 400% is like a volcanic eruption, and the energy in the meridian surges through the body by 400. The golden light of the god-slaying blade soared and buzzed loudly, sword chi vertical and horizontal, large range. 8,000 by 15 armor penetration. The sword chi tornado tore through the blood mist, and the 8 elites' health bars were cleared in the mist. Corpses were smashed with thunder, severed limbs sprayed with blood on the rock wall, and the smell of rust filled the air. Explosive blue shields were scattered in the mud. The blood blade demon lord's pupils shrank suddenly, his sword was frozen in the air, and his voice trembled, 8 kill AoE? Our blood combat set reduces damage by 40%, and your output exceeds 8,000. The level 25 panel is fake, the whole server is bug. The remaining 22 elites panicked, and the archer's fireballs swished and heated. Tang Yue sang, "Frozen 10,000 miles, the frost waves rolled like knives, and the frozen 10 bows crunched and shattered the ice, and the blood returned to 0. The cold air cut into her face, and she gasped, "Chen, the field control is perfect, your tank's hatred is as steady as a mountain." Chen activated the speed slash, and the afterimage of agility 438 cut across the canyon, swooping down to the back row in the roar of the wind, speed slash, attack speed 5.0, 10 hits in a row. The sword light flashed like electricity, the head of the six-axe warrior exploded, and the brains were sprayed with fishy heat, and the corpses were lying across the river of blood and the stinking rotting mist flowed. His health bar dropped to 48%, and the blood-sucking debuff backfired with pain like fire. Tang Yue quickly used ice therapy to wrap his body with blue light, and the coolness was soothing. His blood returned to 20%, "Master, I will keep you alive, and together we will be invincible." The system exploded with a loud bang, PK winning streak plus 10. Undefeated buff plus 400%. Skill points plus 40, total 120. Honor value plus 500, total 1930. The skill tree on the panel has grown wildly, and the new skill, God-Killing Shield Strike, has been unlocked, and the counter damage plus 50% tank magic skill. Passers-by players crowded around to watch, and a passerby archer knelt down with weak legs and worshipped with a hoarse voice, "Kill 18 people in reverse." Buff 400% experience rocket, skill point 120 to crush the whole server, strength 400, agility 438, we grind level like a dog. Chen slaughters the gods, the Qin Feng guild faints. The mage passerby screamed with bloodshot eyes, Goddess Tang Yue is equipped with a tank, and the tacit understanding buff is 20%. The blood blade demon lord has 4 people left, and the honor is 1930. The full set of divine equipment is taking off. The blood blade demon lord's face was livid, his blood sword buzzed and sucked blood, and the red light dimmed. He roared and retreated, "Retreat. Inform brother Qin Feng that the Chen shadow buff stacks infinitely, and the Alliance's 100-man team is preparing for battle." The remaining 4 elites protected him as he escaped from the sea of fog, and his footsteps were messy and gravel-splashed. Chen gasped and laughed, his armor was golden red and stained with blood. Tang Yue walked closer to the orchid fragrance, and her nose was mixed with fish. She tapped his panel with her jade finger, and her beautiful eyes flashed with admiration. Master, perfect operation, 5.0 speed blind, tank can pull 30 monsters without collapse, honor 1930 top 10. We just had a tacit understanding like old teammates. Join Shuanghua, the vice president position plus the guild resources are fully available. I will personally take you to complete the hidden missions. Yi Chen held her soft hand and his blood boiled. Sister Yu, thank you for saving me. I'll join Shuanghua in resisting Qin Feng, but first I'll kill the guardian beast of the Netherworld Canyon. The Wolf King's heart will trigger the clue, and I'll get the God-slaying Sword Master scroll. She nodded with a smile, and the team was officially confirmed. The guild invitation flashed. Deal. There are 25 to 30 intermediate monsters in the deep canyon, kill the legendary fragment first. The wind whistled and roared in the canyon as it approached, and the shadows of giant beasts swayed in the mist. The two of them were sneaking deep into the canyon, and slime dripped from the black rock cliffs, leaving a strong musty stench. The blue light door buzzed open at the entrance, and the dark forest copy engulfed the figure. Ancient trees teleported to the sky. Black mist lingered like a ghost hand caressing the face. The rotten leaf carpet was soft and creaked when stepped on. In the distance, wolves howled, ghosts cried, and night owls shrieked. The field of vision was only 5 meters gray, and the air was moist and pungent. The system prompts, Dark Forest Dungeon is open, monsters are level 25 to 30, elites guard the legendary fragments, and the boss guards the nether heart. Yi Chen's tank rushes forward, and the god-killing shield strike activates the anti-injury shield golden light body protection. Tang Yue's ice staff in the back row is raised high. I will control your output, and freeze the crowd. The first wave of 20 tree demon elites rushed towards them. The vine whips whipped and the wind pressed, the poisonous stings shot and stabbed into the tree trunks and emitted green bubbles, and the rotten stench filled their noses. The defense of the tree demon panel is 300, and the debuff effect, Vine Tangle, slows it down by 40%. Passerby players cannot enter, but the system live broadcast is buzzing. A single soldier watched from a distance and trembled. Chen Tang Yue enters the dark forest. The tree demon elite blood-sucking vines, our guild group is wiped out, and the level 25 tanks are also on their knees. Yi Chen resisted with sword and shield, and the vine whip was painful like a fire whip, and he lost 10% of his health. The shield exploded with green blood mist, and he roared, Sister Yu, freeze. Tang Yue's frozen domain, frost wave spread, freezing the 15 tree demons with crisp ice cracking. Tang Yue shouted softly, full of hatred, your shield will damage 30% of the tree demon's self-destruction. Yi Chen's sword Qi Zongheng swept the golden tornado, the output explosion broke through 15,000, and the corpse exploded with blue vine armor clanking, and the health bar stabilized at 83%. After 3 waves in a row, the experience buff increased by 400%, the skill points plus 20 totaled 140, Yi Chen's strength was 420, his agility was 458, and Tang Yue's full-level ice tree was upgraded to level 24 by 2 levels. The elite tree demon dropped, Netherworld Heart Fragment, with golden light flashing, and the mission progressed to 30%. Shen Qingqing's clues emerged, deliver the fragment to the village girl, unlock the artifact. Tang Yue's beautiful eyes lit up, and she leaned on his shoulder and said softly, Master, I got the fragment, the hidden line is awesome. Your buff stack is crazy, the output is like a core, bang. Yi Chen stroked her hair with a smile, and the fragrance of orchid filled his nose. Teammates are very affectionate, Sister Yu's breast control skills are perfect, and the bond is perfect. The two looked at each other, and the tacit understanding increased by 50%. The members of the guild chatted with each other and said, the vice president is the master of killing the gods in the dark forest. He is so jealous that Qin Feng gets out. Suddenly, a black shadow flashed behind the fog, and 8 assassins under Qin Feng appeared. The leader, the level 26, Shadow Poison King, breathed poisonous daggers in the green fog with an attack speed of 2.8. The sneak attack pierced Tang Yue's heart. Traitor Tang Yue, Qin Feng's brother ordered, explosive ice staff plus fragments. The dagger was approaching, Tang Yue's ice shield shattered and his health bar was crazy. It dropped to 20%, and he shouted in pain, "The ghost is here again." Yi Chen's pupils shrank furiously, and the afterimage flashed back at a fast speed, "Dare you touch my teammates? God-killing strike, 8,000 critical hit plus shield counterattack." The sword and shield collided, the Poison King's head exploded, and his brain sprayed out hot and fishy trees. Tang Yue gasped and used ice therapy to restore blood, and murmured gratefully, "Chen, double the life-saving grace, my good feelings are overwhelming." Yi Chen's sword net weaved a speed slash to clear the field in a row. 8 kills stained the black soil with rancid smell. The system, PK +8. 35 consecutive wins. Light yellow +500%. Honor +400, total 2,330. Top 5 on the honor list. The wind rises in the canyon, the faint roar of the guardian beast is heard in the mist, the shadow of the giant beast shakes, the hidden mission context emerges, Qin Feng's conspiracy is gradually revealed, and the alliance battle is about to begin. Yi Chen's eyes were full of fighting spirit, and the sword pointed at the bloody blade. "It's your turn." There was an earthquake in the depths of the dungeon, and the boss, Dark Forest Guardian Beast, the giant tree demon, roared loudly, and the sea of vines rolled into the sky with poisonous waves. The system announcement exploded, "The Dark Forest boss has been refreshed." The red light at the entrance exploded, and Qin Feng personally led 20 elites to flash forward. The assassins have complete bow skills. Qin Feng, the level 28 top assassin with an attack speed of 3.2, ranked first on the honor list. The purple gold dagger swallowed the divine light and sneered like a knife, "Chen, top 5 in honor. I am here to declare war on the alliance. Grab your buffs, fragments, and artifacts. Brothers, seal the dungeon, and the road to slaying the gods is over." Murderous intent surged, arrows rained down, the crisis escalated. Yi Chen held his sword with fighting intent, Tang Yue's ice staff buzzed, and Shen Qingqing's whisper came faintly from outside the canyon, "The fragments are gathering, the AI shadow will appear. The war is about to begin." In the depths of the dark forest, black mist rolled like ghost claws, the giant tree demon boss vines rolled down with waves, the wet and rotten tree roots burst and popped on the ground, and the green bubbles of poisonous juice corroded the rock and soil, sending out a pungent sour and rotten smell straight into the nose. Qin Feng's 20 elites blocked the entrance, the assassin's figure flickered and his daggers puffed out with purple light, the archer's arrows were full of buzzing strings, the mage's fireball rolled and the heat wave distorted the air, and the bloody and poisonous mist in the air choked people to cough up blood. Qin Feng's level 28 top assassin crushed the panel, and his attack speed was 3.2. The purple gold dagger's divine light soared. He looked down at Yi Chen Tang Yue with a sneer, and his voice was like a knife scraping bones, "Chen clown, top 5 in honor. I have been undefeated for 3 years at the top of the list, 20 elites plus Tree Demon King teamed up hands, there is no way to survive in the dungeon. The ice staff is sold for money, and all the fragments of the Wolf King's heart are taken away. No matter how high your buff is at 500%, you will kneel down. Brothers, the poisonous array will rise, the arrows will rain down, and Boss Tinghai will control the field, and kill this couple." The live broadcast of the whole server exploded. A level 25 tank passerby sat down outside the canyon with his knees weak. His eyes were as wide as copper bells and his voice was trembling like a candle in the wind. "Qin Feng is here in person plus 20 elites plus boss linkage. The assassin's bow skills are at full level, and the panel attack speed is 3.2. We dream. Shening Tang Yue's blood is 83% plus recovering, silently even 50% of the chi can't be resisted. All 2330 honors are lost, the Shuanghua Guild is invincible, and the Qin Feng Alliance is invincible." A passerby, the mage, rubbed his eyes and screamed in hatred. Tree Demon King Tinghai slowed down the poison debuff by 40%, Qin Feng stole the back row, and the crispy mage Tang Yue died first. No matter how good the master is, he can't beat 4 hands. Watch the massacre live. Tang Yue raised the ice staff high and the frost light trembled slightly, her beautiful eyes flashed pale, the orchid fragrance mixed with poisonous mist choked her nose, she bit her lip and whispered, Qin Feng's attack speed is 3.2 and there is no way to escape, 20 people take turns plus sea of vines to suppress, I can't control the whole audience with ice, boss's hatred is biased. Chen's god of war set golden red light. Beads of sweat rolled down his face, his quick 458 steps were like being stuck in a mire, the vine whip whipped his body as painful as a hammer, his health bar dropped by 15% to 68%, the poisonous debuff green mist bit his bones and burned, he lowered himself to protect Tang Yue and rolled to the ground, the sticky musty smell of wet leaves entered his nose, and the rain of arrows scratched his shoulders and scratched the blood on his arms. Qin Feng sneaked and charged with a ferocious smile. The purple gold dagger stabbed Tang Yue straight into the heart. The wind pressure made Tang Yue's ice shield crack and shatter. She lost 22% of her health and was recovering. She shouted in pain, the inner ghost alliance is too cruel and can't be controlled. The first wave of poisonous formation filled the air with green mist. The field of vision was blurred, the bow fire roared and the aftermath of the explosion was followed by scattered wood and jingling sounds. The 5 elite assassins struck in a flash combo. Chen's shield attack was hard to block and the blood mist exploded, but the blood bar was reduced to 52%. The pain was like thousands of needles piercing the bones, and a sense of despair surged in like a tide. The passerby archer knelt down from a distance, his legs weak, his voice hoarse and frightened, suppress the start, Chen tank pulls the boss plus Qin Feng, the health is 52% critical, Tang Yue's control collapses, the output of 20 elites exceeds 10,000, our guild has a group of thousands kneel down with this configuration. Qin Feng laughs to death, and the road to slaughter the gods is broken. Qin Feng's assassin team laughed wildly and attacked with lightning speed. The sea of vines rolled down and hit the ground, and the hot poisonous juice splashed on the rotten flesh. Chen gasped and roared. Suppress first and then rise. Sister you believes in me. Honor fury is upgraded. Tank full hatred, ice storm assist. Tang Yue's hand tightly grasped his armor and gave him a soft electric shock. Her beautiful eyes nodded firmly, okay, master, resist hard, my field is frozen. Group, tacit understanding breaks out. The team tacit understanding buff instantly increased by 70%, and she gasped when the panel showed, strength 420, agility 458. God of War's speed CD is half, the skill point is 140, invincible. Qin Feng's pupils shrank, the purple gold dagger was frozen in the air, and he snorted coldly, pretending. No matter how high the buff stack is, Boss Tinghai has unlimited battery life, I will kill you. He broke out in stealth at a great speed, with an attack speed of 3.2 and hit Chen's throat 10 times in a row, and the purple light ripped through the air. At this moment, Chen's heart was filled with blood, and the system was screaming, PK winning streak plus 20. Undefeated buff stacked up to 600%. Honor Fury 600% activated, skill tree maxed out, God-slaying blow, unlocked, output 0. The golden light of the God-slaying blade sword and the buzzing was deafening, and the golden-red brilliance of the God of War set reached the sky, come. God-slaying strike, full-level ultimate move, Qin Feng team in seconds. The sword energy was like a nuclear explosion, a golden tornado tore through the black mist, the health bars of Qin Feng's 10 assassins in the sea of vines were instantly clear, the heads exploded, the brains sprayed hot and smelly, the tree trunks were filled with rust, the corpses and severed limbs splashed with a loud thunder, and the purple gold fragments clinked to the ground. Qin Feng's face was ashen and he leaned back to dodge, his voice was trembling and sharp, a full-level god-slaying blow. 15,000 armor piercing, breaking our purple suit and reducing damage by 60%, 10 AoE kills. The panel is fake, and the whole server is bug. The remaining 10 elites panicked, the archer's fireball whizzed with heat, and the mage's thunder net buzzed and arced to the ground. Tang Yue sang, Ice Storm Domain. The full-level frost wave spread like a tsunami, freezing the 8-bow spell with crisp ice and shattering the blood to zero. The cold air cut her face like a knife. She gasped excitedly, "Chen, the speed tank has no solution. Your Fury outputs 600% of nuclear bombs, and my assist is full." Chen activated the speed slash, and the agility 570 afterimage slashed through the air. The wind howled and dived into the back row. Super speed slash, the attack speed at full level is 6.0, 20 hits in a row. The swords and lightning flashed like a thunderstorm, and the brains of the remaining 10 people exploded, and the stench of blood rose to the sky. The purple armor exploded and the green light flashed. Qin Feng's purple gold dagger broke fiercely. His health bar dropped to 30% and he retreated in embarrassment. Withdraw. This buff is infinite, notify the cross-server alliance, and the 100-man group is ready for battle. Passers-by on the live broadcast were crazy, and a mage player screamed with trembling hands, "Sneak attack to counterkill 8 assassins." Tang Yue almost died in the Great God Guard, buff 500% speed and invincibility, panel strength 420, agility 458, level 25 swept level 30. Shuanghua Guild took off. Qin Feng is bullshit. Archer passers-by sat down and worshipped, fragment protection, perfect bond score, honor 2330 top 5, Qin Feng's status is shaken. The tree demon boss roars in isolation, the poisonous wave of the vine sea finally goes crazy, and the green juice rolls into the sky and is hot and rancid. Chen laughed wildly and rushed forward. The god-slaying shield counterattacked and injured the shield. The golden light body protection buzzed, single brush to finish. Sword Qizonghan, full-level Tang Yue rushed to lean on his shoulder, the soft fragrance of orchid mixed with blood. She caressed his battle armor with her jade fingers, her beautiful eyes sparkling with admiration. "Great God, I got the first kill artifact, and the operation speed is 6.0, blinding the whole server." Qin Feng kneels down and escapes you to reach the top. The tacit understanding is 70% like a husband and wife team, the frost resources are fully utilized, and the bond is eternal. Chen held her soft hand and laughed with enthusiasm. "Sister Yu assists with magical skills, the ice storm is invincible, and her teammates are deeply affectionate." Panel review, strength 500, agility 570, full skills, buff 600% experience rocket, honor 4330 crushing Qin Feng, God of War set soul sublimation plus God-slaying sword master hidden job activated. The two men repaired briefly, the black fog gradually dissipated, the ancient trees towered into the sky, the carpet of rotten leaves was soft and squeaked when stepped on, and the howling of wolves echoed in the distance. Chen sat cross-legged and ran the buff, and his experience skyrocketed by 2 levels to 27. Tang Yue was promoted to level 25. In the guild chat, Shuanghua members worshipped, Vice President plus Great God kill the Dark Forest. Artifact fragments plus scrolls, Qin Feng is the bullshit leader, get out of here, the Overlord Guild is disbanded. Passers-by players flocked to the entrance to worship, and an archer passerby knelt down and trembled. To reach the top, the buff is 600% permanent, the board is dreamy. We, Qin legend, teamed up with Shuanghua to sweep the entire server. Suddenly, a private message appeared in the system. Shen Qingqing's village girl's voice was faintly transmitted to her brain, and her voice was as mysterious as the wind. "Chen, the fragments gather plus the heart of the Wolf King plus the scroll of the Sword Master. The legendary mission begins. A cross-server alliance is required to deliver rare items to the Tianxian secret realm to unlock the ultimate artifact. But Qin Feng has formed an alliance with the top guilds in all servers, and 100 people are encircling and suppressing them. Send, the bounty is 100,000 gold plus strip all your buffs. Come to the village quickly, the AI shadow is approaching." After saying this, the red light flashed outside the copy, and the 30 shadows of the Qin Feng Remnant Alliance appeared, with murderous intent like a rain of arrows. The cross-server portal buzzed in the distance, the army's footsteps shook the ground, and the crisis suddenly rose like a storm. Yi Chen's eyes narrowed and he stood up with his sword in hand. Tang Yue's ice staff buzzed, and his beautiful eyes burned with fighting spirit. Great God, start a crossover war and join forces to massacre the Alliance. The shadow blade flashed in the black mist, and the bloody battle began again. The black mist was thick and billowing like ink. The red light at the entrance to the Netherworld Canyon was dazzling. The crossover portal buzzed like a beast's roar, causing the wet soil on the ground to tremble and break into pieces. The rotten leaves and debris hit the face and the musty smell penetrated straight into the nose. 30 figures in the vanguard of Qin Feng's remnant party appeared. The assassins were like ghosts, their purple daggers were spitting cold light, the archers' quivers were full of strings, buzzing and charging, the smell of gunpowder was choking their noses, the mages' robes were hunting, the heat wave was distorting the air, and it was eye-catching. Each person was level 28. -30, the panel crushes all purple suits with an attack speed of 2.8+. The Blood Blade team reorganizes the poison formation and the green mist fills the field of vision. The distant army's footsteps roar like thunder and roll to the ground. The outline of the 100-man alliance is looming, dusty, rusty and bloody. Qin Feng's voice came from behind the portal, hoarse as a knife scraping rust, echoing in the canyon, chaining bitch, honor 4,330. I have 500 elite crossover alliances plus 10 guild presidents to come in person, and I will reward you with a bounty of 100,000 gold to strip you of your buff and sell it for money. Vanguard 30, the poison array slows down by 50%, the bow suppresses the fire net, boss level control, the traitor you will be stripped first. Slave market. Come on, brothers. Watch the massacre live on the whole server. The blood of the leader of the Blood Blade Demon King increased sharply, and the level 25 vice president's board power was 650, which sucked 30% of the blood. Last time, only 4 of the 30 elites were left. This time, the crossover assassin is at full level, and Chen is full of blood. Tang Yue is so fragile. The whole server live broadcast barrage is like an avalanche. A level 29 tank passerby outside the canyon, his legs are weak and he is kneeling in the wet soil. The cold and bitter, his eyes are bloodshot and his voice is trembling like a candle. Cross-server Alliance Vanguard 30 all-purple equipment. The Blood Blade Demon Lord's great sword sucks blood and has no solution. The attack speed is 2.8. Shadow Blast combos make us dream. Chenning Tang Yuegang's first kill repairs blood recovery. In the middle, 70% of the tacit understanding cannot hold up to the turn of hundreds of people. All honors are lost, Shuanghua is cool, and Qin Feng is invincible. The passerby, the mage, rubbed his eyes and screamed with hatred and fear. The portal opened and the army pressed down, the poison array debuff stacked, the AOE of the bow and fire net exceeded 10,000, no matter how fast the 27-level panel was, it was hard to beat 4 hands. Watch the live broadcast. Tang Yue's ice staff trembled with frost, and her beautiful eyes were pale and flashed with despair. The orchid scent mixed with the green poisonous mist made her cough and her eyes blurred with tears. She clenched her jade hand tightly on Yi Chen's armor and gave a soft electric shock. Great God, the 30th control output of the Pioneer is full, the footsteps of the crossover army are shaking, and Shen Qingqing's crossover secret realm is blocked before she even gets there. My ice storm CD is 8 seconds, I can't control the crowd, my health bar is 83%, and I'm the first to lose it. Yi Chen's God of War armor is golden and red, with sweat rolling down his face. The god-slaying blade buzzes and the handle is slippery. His agility is 570, but the vines are stuck in the poisonous quagmire. His strength 500 panel is like an ant in front of the sea of people. He lowered his body to protect Tang Yue, the arrows swished hotly through the air and scratched the blood marks on his shoulders, causing burning pain. The poisonous green mist bit into the bones like fire, the vision was blurred and the blood bar dropped by 12% to 88%, the pain was like thousands of needles piercing the heart, and despair was swallowed up like a black tide. The sword of the Blood Blade Demon Lord swept across the blood wave and roared, and the aftermath of the gravel splashed and jingled, hitting the armor fiercely. Yi Chen's shield attack was hard to block, and the blood mist exploded, but he was knocked back 3 steps and splashed with mud and wet his pants. The blood dropped to 75%. The assassin's 5 shadows exploded with the dagger. The first consecutive flash attack speed was 2.8. The purple light ripped through the air. Tang Yue's ice shield cracked and shattered. The health bar was 22% to 61%. She cried out in pain and fell to the ground with twitching legs and cold air. The field control collapsed. The shadow blast ignored the ice, D3 layers of a buff, movement speed, 60%, the master can't hold it back. The archer's fire net explodes, the heat wave stings the eyes, and sawdust flies and chokes the lungs, the mage's thunder arcs buzz around the ground and the electric shock paralyzes, and the elite assassin has 10 people in a round. After the stabbing, Chen activated the afterimage dodge with the quick slash, but the 3 daggers hit the blood bar and the blood bar dropped by 28% to 47%. The bone cracked and hurt like a hammer hitting the spine, the wet and rotten tree roots exploded, green bubbles of venomous juice shichichi, and the smell of rotten armor and rust filled the air. The passerby archer sat down with weak legs at the edge of the live broadcast, and his voice was hoarse and desperate. The vanguard suppressed the start, Chen Ying's blood was 47% critical, Tang Yue's control collapsed 61%, the output of 30 people exceeded 20,000, and there was no solution to the debuff in the sea of people. Our team of thousands has a dream configuration. Qin God Slaughter buff 600% also kneeled down, Qin Feng laughed to death, cross-server Slaughter God break. The assassin team laughed wildly and besieged, daggers and lightning flashes exploded in combos. The ground was trembling and hot, the poisonous green mist spread, choking the nose and coughing up blood, the blood-sucking sword of the blood blade demon lord slashed and crushed with force, Chen gasped and roared to protect Tang Yue, and the wet, sticky mold smell entered his nose. The blood bar was 35%. Tang Yue's ice therapy field was weak and the frost light could not hurt her. Her beautiful eyes were filled with tears and trembled. Master, the portal of the army of 100 people is buzzing, and the footsteps are thunderous, and the tacit understanding is that 70% will lose 50%, and I can't hold it back. Passerby players on the live broadcast flocked to watch the whole server go crazy. A passerby, a mage, had bloodshot eyes and trembling hands and screamed, "Kill the 20 elites in person." Qin Feng was forced to flee in person. Buff 600% skill level, strength 500 and agility 570, level 25 swept level 28. We level up like dogs, Chen slaughters the true god. The warrior passerby collapsed and worshipped with a hoarse voice. Tang Yue Ice Storm assists 70%, Boss Ting Hai has a tacit understanding of 70%. X380%. Plus 200043330. PK55 buff 600%. Plus 100240. The crisis is like a storm, the red light of the portal is booming and the buzzing is deafening, the second wave of 50 shadows appears, the bowstring is full of gunpowder and the smell of gunpowder is strong, the outline of the army is clear, the armor leaves are clanging, murderous intent surges, arrows are gathering momentum, and the premonition wind is hot. Chen's heart was as heavy as lead, his health bar was 33%, and the green mist was biting and scorching his bones. The golden glow of the god-slaying blade was dull and low, and Tang Yue leaned on his shoulder with the soft and trembling orchids mixed with blood. She whispered in despair, "Master, the road to the secret realm of the mission is blocked, Shen Qingqing the private information is urgent, but the AI shadow is approaching but there is no way out." Shuanghua members in the distant guild chatted in panic, Vice President plus Qingqing were surrounded and suppressed across servers. The 100-man group is full of purple, and the first kill of the artifact is blind, and thousands of us are also in trouble. At the peak of despair, the blood wave of the blood blade demon lord's great sword hit the ground again and cracked with thunder. The assassin's 10 shadows exploded and took out the purple light at the throat. Chen's pupils shrank suddenly and hot blood surged. The system was thunderous and thunderous. PK is on. Winning streak 55+1. Undefeated buff stack 700%. Honor Fury 700% activation, skill tree expansion, speed god killing combo, unlocked, attack speed 7.0 consecutive 50 armor penetration, plus 150% experience. The meridians are volcanic, the strength is 620, the agility is 650, the god-slaying blade is booming, and the soul of the god of war is rising to the sky. Sister, you believe me. Suppress the top first, and attack the god-slaying combo at full level, the vanguard team in seconds. The sword energy of the golden dragon crazily tore through the black mist and lightning flashed. The Bloodblade Demon King's sword broke with a crisp and hot sound. His eyes were as wide as copper bells and his voice was trembling and sharp. Full level divine speed 7.0. Armor penetration is 20,000, breaking purple reduces damage by 80%, continuous 50 hits AoE. Panel BUG, all servers are fake. The heads of the 5 assassins instantly exploded, their brains sprayed hot and smelly, and the rusty smell of the tree trunks filled their noses. The corpses were cut off and their limbs flew with a loud thunder, and the purple fragments clanked to the ground and the river of blood merged with the stench. Tang Yue sucked in the cold air, her beautiful eyes admired the water, and she held his arm with hot blood and electric shock. Master, 700% buff output nuclear explosion, I will follow with the ice storm. Her frost wave and tsunami spread and frozen 8 bows, ice blast shattered the blood, and the cold air cut her face and bit the bone. Qin Feng's figure slowly walked out of the door. The purple gold dagger was damaged and repaired, and the health bar was restored to 80%. He looked down with a sneer, buff is permanent 600%. My alliance level is all 30, the assassin's full level shadow linkage reduces damage by 70%, the bow skill fire rain AoE is crispy in seconds, and I will peel off the scroll fragments after wearing you to death. Live barrage, Chen knelt down. The barrage filled the screen with taunts, and an assassin passerby screamed with blood-red eyes. Qin Feng came to take revenge. The panel attack speed is 3.2 liters 3.5, the cross-server assassin king team, Chen Ying speed 6.0 can't dodge the crowd, all the honors are 4,330, we singles are crying to death. Tang Yue is a traitor. The system continuously blasted the whole server with golden light, PK winning streak plus 20. Undefeated buff permanent 1000%. Honor Fury 1000% activated, experience rocket level increased, continuously upgraded to level 23 to 50. The ultimate skill tree unlocks, Tianxian God Slaughter, lose out of X50 armor penetration 50,000, all attributes plus 200%. Yi Chen's panel exploded, strength 900, agility 1000, the god-slaying sword master scroll automatically fused with the hidden profession fully activated, the sun was covered with golden and red brilliance, and the experience buffs were stacked like a nuclear explosion. The remnants of the Alliance assassins panicked and launched a combo of shadow blasts, but the armor penetration was ineffective. The counter-injury exploded and their blood bar was cleared. They exploded, Netherworld Heart Fragment X1. The second piece of blue gold flashed and the mission progress was 90%. Qin Feng looked back with a pale face, and Zijin Dagger Zhankong snorted coldly, small victory. The army is pressing forward. But Yi Chen quickly cut through the air and the wind roared, diving into the back row, continue the combo. PK plus 5. The sword light flashed in a thunderstorm, and the heads of 10 assassins burst into the sky with blood and mist. He screamed in fear before dying, 15 consecutive kills. 800% buff stack, notify President Qin Feng, retreat. A passerby in the live broadcast, tank, knelt down and worshipped and screamed, counterkill Vanguard 20. Speed 7.0 God-slaying combo, strength 620, agility 650, level 27 seconds level 30 purple equipment. We are the grinding dog, the true god Qin. The red light of the portal boiled like a sea of blood, and the buzzing shook the canyon rock walls. Fine cracks spread, and the smell of dust mixed with blood and rust hit the nostrils. The footsteps of Qin Feng's 500 elite soldiers were like thousands of galloping horses, crushing the wet mud, splashing fishy mud, and splashing. Yi Chen's gold-edged cloth armor, worn by God of War, was sticky and cold. The assassin's silhouette flashed with purple light, his dagger puffed out with cold light, hissed and slashed through the air. The archer's quiver filled his nose with the smell of gunpowder and filled his nose with a thunderous explosion. The mage's heat wave twisted his robe to hunt and irritate his eyes. Each person's level 30 purple and gold mixed panel crushed the entire server, reducing damage by 65% and the attack speed was 3.0 plus. Qin Feng held the purple gold dagger high and sneered, echoing in the canyon like a knife scraping bones. Chen Ying's level 50 Tianxian God Slaughter. I'm here in person with the 1,000 people guild plus the 10 presidents of the alliance, watching the skinning live broadcast on the whole server. Buff 2000% Dream. The Sea of Blood grinding debuff is stacked and the movement speed is reduced by 80%, and the Shadow Explosion chain will make you crispy in seconds. The bounty is doubled to 200,000 gold. Brothers take turns to peel the scroll and sell it for money. The Shuanghua Guild chatter exploded with panic and screams. A tank member looked at it from a distance. His legs were weak and he was kneeling on his knees in the mud, wet soil, and the trousers were cold. His eyes were bloodshot and his voice was trembling like a candle in the wind. 500 troops at full purple level. Qin Feng's attack speed is 3.5, and the shadow linkage has no solution. We, 1,000 people, are dreaming. Even if you want to configure it, Chen can't stand the battle after winning 75 blood. Tang Yue died first, and the first kill in the copy was in vain. The honor list was so cold. The passerby mage rubbed his eyes and screamed with jealousy and hatred at the edge of the live broadcast. The portal opened wide and the footsteps shook the sky, and the fire thunder AoE broke. 30,000, a boss level in a sea of people. No matter how good the level 50 panel is, it is difficult for 2 fists to defeat 4 hands. The live broadcast is scheduled to be a decisive blow. Tang Yue's ice staff trembled with frost, her beautiful eyes were pale and flashed with tears of despair, her orchid scent mixed with green poisonous mist made her cough bloodshot, her jade hands tightly grasped Yi Chen's armor for warmth. Soft electric shock trembled. Master, the army is overwhelming the poisonous array and the blood-devouring rate is 15% per second. My ice storm CD is 12 seconds and I can't control the group control. The tacit understanding is 70% and 40% is lost. The health bar is 72% and the skin is broken. The road to Shen Qingqing's secret realm is blocked. Can I get X4 mission fragments for nothing? Yi Chen's god-slaying blade's golden red glow dimmed and hummed low, the handle was sweaty and slippery, and his heart felt like lead sinking into a clear pool. The strength 900 agility 1000 panel was as small as dust in front of the sea of people. The health bar returned to 68%. The green mist was scorching and bone-gnawing. Thousands of needles pierced the heart. The afterimages dodged the rain of arrows with great speed, and the blood marks on the shoulders were burning. Countless calculations flashed through his mind. Fight for 500. Buffs with 1000% experience rockets can't withstand debuff stacks and their movement speed returns to 0. The Qin Feng assassin king hides in the back row and waits for opportunities. The live barrage mocks the avalanche and the honor 4330 steals the scroll and fuses and destroys it. But in a desperate situation, a glimmer of calmness flashes through the brain like lightning. Preliminaries for the full server competition begin. The single-player mode of the qualifying round is a virtual arena, with rules protecting no interference from foreign aid, winning streaks and unlimited buffs, outsmarting first and then rising, avoiding the edge of the army, accumulating nuclear explosion panels, and then returning to the canyon to slay the gods. He roared to protect Tang Yue, who was short and rolled up in mud, and the smell of wet, sticky mold and rotten rot filled his nose. The psychological game was like a clash of swords, sacrificing a small retreat in the canyon in exchange for 10 consecutive wins in the competition and a 2000% buff full-level tree, while Qin Feng had thousands of people watching. Counterkill live broadcast and become a god. The system exploded with a golden light and thundered through the brain. The pre-selection for the full server competition is open. Registration for the single-player mode of the qualifying competition, teleportation protection in the virtual arena, winning streaks and undefeated buffs, and double settlement of honor points. Glory in Tianxian continent, the road to slaughter the gods. Yi Chen's pupils suddenly shrank and his blood surged. He decisively clicked on the registration interface and the golden edge flashed. The golden red beam of the teleportation light burst into the black fog and the buzzing was deafening. The figure disappeared into the canyon and fell into the white jade arena of the virtual arena. The sun was shining brightly and the hot steaming air was dry. Qin Feng's army rushed into the air, and Zijin dagger Zhankong roared with an ashen face, "Run!" Thousands of people are watching the live broadcast of the qualifying competition, 10 consecutive victories. Dream. The guild gather to watch the battle and the barrage will mock you to death. Tang Yue's private message flashed her beautiful eyes, "Outwit." In the double competition, I will assist the ice and fire combo to keep up, and I have a tacit understanding of 70% invincibility. In the first qualifying match, the opponent's level 28 tank heavy gunner has a panel power of 780 and shield damage reduction of 85%. Thousands of people in the auditorium at the edge of the arena are buzzing with projections. The assassins leading the remnants of the Overlord Guild have red eyes and trembling passers-by. Chen, level 50 Tianxian Slaughter God, enters the singles match. The heavy gunner's big shield has no solution, and our Sanren Meng panel, with a buff of 1000%, is also on the first level. The heavy gunner swept the axe across the board. The roaring aftermath of the earth wave was followed by the jingling of gravel hitting the ground. The hoarse laughter echoed, "Honor 4330 bitch, come on and grind the blood debuff, sell your buff for money in seconds." Yi Chen sneered in his heart, trying to suppress it first to suppress it and then to explode. He was short and pretended that the health bar was weak at 68%, gasping for breath, mud and sweat beads rolling down, psychological calculation and operation prediction, shield attack CD 3 seconds, divine speed 7.0 flash side gap combo explosion. The heavy gunner's axe shadow smashed into the ground and cracked, making the legs weak. The debuff movement speed was reduced by 30%, and the audience's barrage avalanche taunted, "Chen quits?" Level 50 kneels down on a level 28 tank, laughed to death. At the moment when the axe blade pressed into the throat and hot wind hit his face, the system resounded, "PK is on. Win streak 75+1. Unbeatable buff stack 1100%. God-killing combo with full attack speed 7.5 consecutive armor penetration 22,000. Meridians and volcanic body movement strength 950, agility 1050, God-slaying blades golden red thunderstorm flashes through the air. Howling, whizzing, the combo is like a tornado, tearing the shield, making a crisp sound, the metal is twisted and piercing, and the counter-injury explosion is hot, and the blood mist sprays hot and rusty smell on the table. The health bar of the heavy gunner's shield is shattered and his eyes are clear instantly. He glares at the copper bell and his voice is trembling and sharp, full level 7.5 company 55. Armor penetration 22,000, damage reduction 85%, panel the whole server is fake. There was a loud thunderous sound as corpses and broken limbs flew across the river. Thousands of people in the audience were sluggish. A passerby, an archer, sat down with his legs weak and worshipped and screamed, "The first tank. Buff 1100% output nuclear explosion, our group of thousands dreams, the true god Chen kills the god." 76 wins in a row, the system's golden light blasted the whole server, honor plus 500, total 4480, first in the whole server. Experience surge plus 25%, skill points plus 30 full tree expansion. In the second game, the level 29 mage was raining with fire, burning the sky, and the heat wave was eye-catching. The crumbs choked his lungs, and he hunted in his robe and taunted, "Fragile swordsman." The fire net AoE broke 20,000, kneel down. Yi Chen's psychological game continued to suppress, dodged the fire rain, swish, hot scratches, blood marks and burning pain, pretending that the blood dropped to 55%, the barrage went crazy, Chening the field control collapsed. The mage's full-level fire rain has no answer. The instantaneous, Tianxian Slayer God, output x50 armor penetration 50,000, all attributes plus 200%, the sword energy golden dragon violently tore through the heat wave and lightning, the mage's head exploded and the brains were hot and bloody, and the purple robe ding dong exploded, and he screamed in fear before dying, x50 armor penetration 50,000. Level 50 Ultimate Tree, God. The passerby assassin's knees weakened and he trembled in admiration, second mage fire rain. Agility 1050, speed and invincibility, jealous to death. From the third to the fifth game, tanks and bow assassins took turns, and Chen outsmarted the layout. In each game, he first suppressed the opponent's blood pressure by 10% to taunt the peak, and the audience's desperate barrage flooded the screen with Chen Qingqing and buff fake, and then the buff stacked up to 1300%, and the speed was 8.0, killing consecutively. Shuanghua members chatted and worshipped, the great god has won 5 consecutive victories. The Tianxian God Slaughter Tree has reached the level, and our resources have been fully utilized to bind the eternal bond. The Qin Feng 1,000 people guild projection crowd looked on with livid faces and growled, small victory. In the 6th game, I am the assassin king of the guild, and the shadow explosion reduces the damage by 75%. In the 6th game, the level 30 assassin Shadow Blade attacked with an attack speed of 3.2. The purple light ripped through the air and the wind was biting. He smiled ferociously, President Qin Feng, kiss me and strip you of your buff. Yi Chen's heart was filled with cold calculations, shadow explosion trajectory prediction judgment, rapid CD, 50%, 0 delay, 150% damage back, psychology is like a chess game move suppressed to 45% blood, poison debuff, stacked 2 layers, movement speed, 50%, staggering and retreating, barrage avalanche, kneeling. God-killing shield strike, full-level counter-injury plus 150% golden red brilliance covered the sun and buzzed the earthquake platform, the shadow blade counterattacked and exploded with blood. His blood bar was cleared and his eyes were red and trembling, shield strike counter-injury has no solution. 81 consecutive wins, notify the president to withdraw. The audience tanks and passers-by screamed in fear and jealousy, the king of assassins can counterattack in seconds. The panel is dreamy, we are crying. 81 wins in a row, buff 1600%, skill points soared to 300 points. In the 7th game, the archer's fire net was swishing hot, in the 8th game, the tank's great sword roared with blood waves, in the 9th game, the mage's thunder arc electric shock paralyzed and buzzed. Yi Chen operated the god-level micropressure and then nuclear explosion in each game. The psychological game was the ultimate, sacrificing small blood for the opponent's carelessness, the accumulation and superposition were like snowballs crushing, the blood river on the table was stinking and steaming, and the purple equipment fragments were jingling and shining all over the floor. In the 10th game, Qin Feng Guild's vice president level mage has both ice and fire skills. He has 30,000 spell damage on the board and controls the whole field. He sneered, traitor Tang Yue, how long is the ice storm CD? I'll combo you. Suppressing the opening freeze, slowing down by 60%, fire and rain, scorching pain, blood dropped to 38%, barrage despair, 10 consecutive dreams are broken, Qin Feng projected thousands of people to watch and laughed wildly, strip naked. Yi Chen roared, his blood boiling, and the ultimate layout flashed in his mind. Tang Yue's double match started at the same time, and she sent a private message, ice and fire combo is in place. The team's tacit understanding buff plus 70% superimposed instantly, and the system rang loudly, PK winning streak plus 10. Total 85 games. Undefeated buff permanent 2000%. Honor. The reputation of Fury is activated at 2000%, and the experience level is increased to 52 levels in a row. The ultimate skill, God-killing World Slayer, is unlocked, output x 100 armor penetration 100,000, all attributes plus 400%, AoE clears the whole map. Strength 1200, agility 1400, God-slaying blade soul roar golden red. The sun was blocked by a thunderstorm, and the world-destroying sword swung out a tsunami of sword energy to tear through the sky and lightning. The mage's ice and fire field exploded instantly, and his head flew into the sky. The blood mist rushed into the sky. His eyes were cracked and his voice was hoarse and fearful, x 100 armor penetration 100,000. Level 52 world-destroying full level, God level rare God-killing war God plus sword master fusion is invincible. The whole audience is invincible. 10 severed limbs of corpses flew with thunder and thunder, purple gold exploded like rain, and the projections of thousands of people in the audience were sluggish and collapsed. An assassin passerby's legs twitched and he screamed, 10 consecutive victories and sweeps. Buff 2000% level 52 world destruction / we all kneel down, Chen Ying's honor list is stable, Qin Feng's thousands of people are in disgrace. The honor reached 6,000 and the first place in the whole server was locked. The qualifying gold list shone and the whole server announcement was buzzing. Tang Yue's two-player match was synchronized with 5 consecutive ice storms, frost waves and fire rain. She assisted the AoE to break 50,000. The private message of Meimu was crazy and watery, the world-destroying magic skill of the great god. The tacit understanding of 80% bond is eternal, the frost flower overlord. Qin Feng projection's face turned pale and trembled and roared, 2000% light yellow. The national war stage has begun, and cross-server alliances are gathering. Thousands of people, I will fight with you in the finals. At this moment, Shen Qingqing's figure in the canyon appeared in a white dress, and her beautiful eyes said urgently, Fragments X4 are delivered to Tianxian's secret realm. The ultimate artifact, Tianxian's soul, is unlocked, and the AI conspiracy national war emerges, come on. The white light of the portal opened and the outline of the secret realm loomed, and the footsteps of the army in the black mist flashed, and the national war notice flashed across the server, and the national war began. The golden afterglow of the white jade arena is dazzling and the steaming heat wave has not dissipated. Yi Chen's figure disappears in an instant, and the buzzing sound in the void tears his eardrums. The portal's white light pours out like the Milky Way and hits his face with a biting coldness. When he lands on the ground, the stone steps at the entrance to Tianxian's secret realm are slippery, mossy, moldy, rotten, and smelly. The dark mist mixed with blood and rust fills the vision, blurring the vision and stinging with tears. Shen Qingqing's white dress fluttered with the faint fragrance of orchid, her jade hands trembled slightly and her beautiful eyes were deep and eager, Chening. Fragments, God-slaying sword, all attributes have a plus 500% invincible aura. Her voice trembled like a fallen leaf in the wind, the canyon in the distance was rumbled with thousands of horses galloping, causing cracks in the stone walls and flying dust, and the sea of green poisonous mist spread and ate bone-gnawing ants, burning the heart. Thousands of elites from the Qin Feng cross-server alliance came like a black tide, the purple and gold suits flashed with cold light, the bowstrings buzzed with thunder, the rain of arrows swung, the heat wiped away the blood marks, the mage's heat wave twisted the robe, the hunting eyes were burning, the fire rain burned the sky, and sawdust choked the lungs, the assassin's shadow purple mist teleports daggers, swallows and bites the wind. Each level 35 purple and gold mixed equipment reduces damage by 70%, attack speed is 3.2 plus, debuff poison array, green mist devours blood by 20% per second, movement speed is reduced by 90%, and the panel crushes the dream configuration of the whole server. Qin Feng held the purple gold dagger high, his livid face twisted and roared, echoing in the secret realm like a knife scraping bones, Chen Ying's 10 consecutive wins with 2000% buff. An army of 10,000 people fought to make blood, and the bounty was doubled to 500,000 gold. Live broadcast of skinning and selling slaves, Tang Yue's Trader Ice Crispy Skin took the lead, and the fragments of the secret realm were snatched and melted destroy. The 10 presidents of the alliance are here, and the shadow explosion chain plus fire thunder AoE will break through 50,000, and your level 52 will be crisp in seconds. The live broadcast of the whole server avalanche ridiculed the screen, small victory in the qualifying round, the battle between tens of thousands of people, Chen Ying's health bar is 68%, and the honor is 6,000. Shuanghua Guild chat exploded with panic and screams. A tank member looked at the projection from a distance and knelt on his knees with wet mud and cold pants. His eyes were bloodshot and his voice trembled like a broken candle. An army of 10,000 people is at full purple level. Qin Feng's attack speed is 3.5, linkage control, our Shuanghua 1000 men's dream panel, buff 2000% can't hold the debuff stack and the movement speed returns to 0. Tang Yue can't control the ice storm CD for 15 seconds. Tang Yue dies first, the secret mission is cool. The passerby assassin rubbed his eyes and screamed with jealousy and hatred at the edge of the live broadcast. The portal opened wide and the green fog looked into the sky. Yi Ling, the fire thunder breaks through the 60,000 boss level, and the 52 level god can't defeat thousands of hands with his fists, live broadcast to kill. Tang Yue teleported to the back row of the arena with ice staffs, the frosty light shivered, her beautiful eyes were pale and flashed with tears of despair. Her orchid scent was mixed with green poisonous mist, and she was coughing blood, her jade hands tightly grasped Yi Chen's armor. Warm and soft electric shock trembled. Great God, an army of 10,000 people can crush the poison formation and devour the blood at 25% per second. My ice storm field CD is 18 seconds and I can't control the group control. The tacit understanding is 80% and it loses 50%. The health bar is 65% and the skin collapses. The delivery of Shen Qingqing's fragments is blocked. Tianxian's soul is blind. Yi Chen's god-slaying blade's golden red glow dimmed and hummed low, the handle was sweaty and slippery, and his heart felt like lead sinking into a clear pool. The strength 1200, agility 1400 panel was as small as dust in front of an army of 10,000 people, and the health bar returned to 72%. Buff 2000% experience rockets can't withstand the debuff stack and the movement speed returns to 0. Qin Feng Assassin King hides in the back row and waits for the opportunity to make secret moves. The live barrage mocks the avalanche and the honor 6000 grabs all the fragments and destroys it. But in the desperate situation, a trace of calmness flashes through the brain like lightning. Shen Qingqing's delivery first suppresses and then rises, fragments he roared to protect Tang Yue. His body was short, the moss was rolling, the wet, sticky mold and rotten smell filled his nose. The psychological game was like a sword clash, sacrificing a small retreat from the secret realm in exchange for the artifact invincible tree, Qin Feng with tens of thousands of people watching. Counterkill live broadcast and become a god. The rain of arrows, fire and thunder is like a doomsday downpour, the roar of gravel is hot, the poisonous green mist spreads, the blood-eating blood bar drops to 45%, the field of vision is blurred, the tears sting, the assassin's shadow explosion chain chi-chi, the purple light tears through the air, the wind is biting, and the chill bites the throat, Qin Feng's evil smile is projected, thousands of people are watching and roaring. Blood 45% debuff 3 layers. I'll grind your buff to death. Sell money. The barrage flashed across the screen, Chening's secret realm kneeling. The dream of the 52-level panel is broken, and the army of 10,000 people has no solution. Shen Qingqing stretched out her white skirt and the scent of orchid smelled in her nose, her beautiful eyes trembled with tears, fragments. Quick sex. Yi Chen's heart was full of blood, and the ultimate plan flashed in his mind, the quick 8.0 flash assassin gap, approaching Shen Qingqing. The super speed afterimage roars and tears through the mist and teleports, the god-slaying blade flashes golden and red and cuts through the thunderstorm, super speed god-slaying combo, full level attack speed 8.0, consecutive 55 penetrations, armor 22,000 plus 150% damage back, burst, the dagger bites back the blood mist heat the smell of rust filled the stone steps, and the 5 assassins exploded and self-destructed, their health bars were cleared, and their broken limbs spattered with loud thunder. Their eyes stared at the copper bell, and their voices were trembling and sharp. 8.0 Company, 55 armor penetration, 22,000 penetration, 70% damage reduction. Panel BUG all servers are fake. Fragment X4 Heart of Netherworld's green light skyrocketed. Shen Qingqing's jade palm buzzed loudly, and her white dress exploded with golden light like a galaxy. Delivery completed. Unlock the ultimate artifact in the legendary mission, Tianxian's Secret Realm. Soul of Tianxian, God-slaying sword, all attributes plus 500%, invincible aura activated, damage reduction 90%, immunity to debuff, AoE damage retaliation 300%. AI Conspiracy National War emerges, the road to slaying gods is eternal. The system exploded with a sonorous golden light, thundering into the brain, and the whole server announced a red light shining brightly and buzzing to the sky. Player Qingqing delivered Heart of Netherworld Agility 1900, Invincibility Aura Permanent. Honor value plus 2000, total 8000 locked in the whole server. Invincible buff permanent 3000%, experience plus 3000%, honor fury 3000% including set plus 200%. 85 wins in a row plus first kill in the secret realm, skill points plus 500 for the entire tree. The soul roar of the god-slaying blade is sublimated into a golden red that blocks the sun and thunderstorms. The new sword, Tianxian Soul, Sword of the God-slaying, is used. The soul pulses and the heat flows through the meridians like a volcanic eruption. The attack speed is 9.0 in a row. 80 penetration of 50,000 armor, God-slaying world-destroying slash, upgrade x200, penetration of 200,000, all attributes plus 800% AoE, full map plus invincible counter-injury, God of War suit gold-edged cloth armor soul sublimation shines brightly, divine speed CD, 80% zero delay. Qin Feng's army of 10,000 people rushed forward, the air was frozen, the purple gold dagger trembled, his face turned pale and he roared, artifact plus 500% invincible aura. I am suppressing the fire and thunder of the alliance. But Yi Chen roared with blood boiling, a tsunami of sword energy tore through the sky and lightning, God-slaying world-destroying slash, full level x200, swung out a golden red light to cover it. The sun buzzed and shook the whole map of the secret realm. The AoE sword wave swept through thousands of people like a tornado. The green mist that reduced the damage by 90% of the immune poison array evaporated, and the anti-damage 300% exploded. The health bar, the tank shield crackled, the metal twisted and pierced, the archer's quiver exploded and the gunpowder choked the nose, the mage's robe burned to ashes and the heat wave was harsh to the eyes. Their corpses were lying in the river of blood, their eyes were red and trembling, and they screamed, X200 armor penetration, 200,000 damage reduction, 90% damage reduction. 300% damage reduction with invincible aura, level 52 God. The nuclear explosion on the device panel shattered the dreams of all of us. Qin Feng projected a crowd of thousands of people in the back row and sat down with their knees twitching in fear. Destroy the whole world and clear the field. The strength is 1700, the agility is 1900, the attack speed is 9.0, our alliance is kneeling, Qingqing slaughters the true god. Tang Yue's ice staff froze the enemies in the frost wave, her beautiful eyes were watery and her jade hands were crazy and she fluttered at Yi Chen's armor. The fragrance of orchids hit her nostrils, her voice was trembling and she gasped, the great god's artifact is invincible. 90% of the tacit understanding of the bond is eternal. I, Tang Yue, belong to Qingqing in my heart, and I will follow Shuanghua in life and death to dominate the whole server. Her red lips trembled slightly, and her tears flashed. The team's morale was bursting. Shuanghua chatted with admiration, President confesses. Qingqing's artifact kills the gods, and all resources are used for eternity. The projections of all the players in the server were sluggish and collapsed, and a mage passerby screamed in admiration and jealousy, 8000 honor buff permanent 3000%. Divine sword plus 500% invincibility, we single people cry to death, Qingqing dominates the whole server. Qin Feng's livid face twisted and growled, small victory. In the finals of the national war, I exposed the AI conspiracy, summoned the ultimate boss Tianxian demon god, and the alliance of 10,000 resurrections stripped you of your artifact. Tang Yue ran over to caress his armor with jade fingers, her beautiful eyes shining wildly. Great God, level 50 ultimate Shudiyangxuan God Slayer. Buff 1000% panel dream, even PK20 anti-slaughter pioneers, Shuanghua Guild officially recruits you as the core president. Full resources, eternal bonds. Shuanghua chatted with admiration, Chen Core. The alliance kneels down, the overlord gets out. Qin Feng shivered from behind the portal, 1000% light yellow. The preliminaries for the whole server competition, the final battle in person. Shen Qingqing's private message suddenly appeared and the sound wave was transmitted, fragments. The black mist boils and rolls like ink, the smell of decay hits the nostrils like a cracking tomb, and the loud roar in the depths of the secret realm cracks the stone walls. Fine dust rains down like cold and stinging skin. Thousands of Qin Feng's remnants of the army were reorganized in darkness, the purple gold equipment was resurrected, the golden light flashed and tinkled, the poisonous green mist spread again, bone-gnawing hot needles drilled into the heart, the bow strings were buzzing, full of thunder, exploding arrows, swishing and wiping away blood marks, scorching pain, blurring the vision. The system's red light announcement exploded and the whole server's eardrums buzzed, the national war finals have begun. The Qin Feng alliance resurrected thousands of elites plus 10 presidents came in person, suppressed cross-server poison thunder AoE, and the bounty was increased tenfold to 1 million gold. The Qingqing artifact is invincible. The sea of debuff grinds the blood and strips it naked. Live broadcast of selling slaves and skinning. Barrage avalanche taunted like a knife, the first kill of Xiao Shuang is the resurrection of thousands of people. The purple equipment reduces the damage by 80% and the attack speed is 3.8, the poison bite is 30% per second and the movement speed is reduced by 95%. The health bar of level 52 is 72%, and the honor is 8,000 and the dream is broken. Qin Feng projected the high platform of the canyon with a twisted and sinister smile on his livid face, like a ghost crying and a wolf howling. He held up the purple gold dagger and exhaled the purple mist with a bone-chilling chill. Alliance listens to the order. The fire thunder will explodes the poisonous lock on the entire map, grinds the Chen shadow buff to death and sells it for money. Tang Yue Bingjian takes the lead in the live broadcast. I personally stabbed the back heart, revealed the AI evidence, and summoned the demon god to fuse. Now, real rule is on. The metal of the front row tank's shield wall was screeching. The mage's heatwave twisting robes were hunting, the eyes were burning, the sky was burning, and the wood chips were choking his lungs. The assassin's shadow blast chain chi purple light was blowing the wind. Each person's panel had 4 stacks of fantasy damage reduction 85% debuff. And the health bar recovery spell golden light rushed into the sky and the heat flowed through the body. The Shuanghua Guild was chatting and screamed in panic. A logistics mage's legs were weak and he was kneeling on his knees in a river of blood, wet mud and cold pants. His eyes were bloodshot and his voice was trembling like a candle in the wind. Thousands of people are resurrected at full purple level. Qin Feng's attack speed is 4.0 and linked to the field control. We Shuanghua's thousands of people can't withstand the poison bite at 35% per second. Bu FF 3000% movement speed also returned to 0, Tang Yue's Ice Storm CD collapsed in 20 seconds, and the magical weapon was invincible to carry thousands of people. The passerby archer rubbed his eyes and screamed with jealousy at the edge of the live broadcast. There is no solution to the huge crowd in the National War Finals. The fire thunder breaks through the 70,000 boss level, Qingqing's health bar drops to 50%, and the live broadcast kills the magic sword. Tang Yue's ice staff trembled with frost, her beautiful eyes were pale and shone with tears of despair, her orchid fragrance mixed with green poisonous mist made her cough and bloodshot lips flow. Her jade hands tightly grasped Yi Chen's armor and trembled like a soft electric shock. Her voice was gasping and broken. Great God, the 1,000 people resurrection debuff stacks 5 layers of blood devouring 40% per second. The ice storm field cannot control the group control. 90% of the tacit understanding is lost, 58% of the health bar is shattered. Qin Feng hides behind and assassinates, the aura of the artifact cannot suppress the sea of people, the demon summons the real cool. Shen Qingqing's white dress is full of hunting orchids, her jade hands are trembling slightly, and her beautiful eyes are deep and eager. Chen. Demon God's Shadow, NPC assists, Secret Realm Guardian buff, the whole team is immune to poisonous bites by 200%, but evidence of Qin Feng's AI has emerged, and they are advancing to the decisive battle area quickly. Yi Chen's, Tianxian Soul, God-slaying sword, hummed with golden red light, the handle was slippery with sweat, and his heart was as heavy as lead. In Qingshui Pond, the power 1700, the agility 1900, the panel was as small as dust in front of the black tide of the resurrection of thousands of people, the health bar dropped to 42%, the green mist was scorching and bone-gnawing, the vision stung with tears, the afterimages dodged the arrow rain quickly, and 20 blood marks were rubbed on the shoulder. Countless calculations flashed in the mind, fight against thousands of people. The invincible aura reduces damage by 90%, but it can't withstand the debuff stack and the movement speed returns to 0. Qin Feng stabs the king and hides behind, and uses the live barrage to steal all honors. But in a desperate situation, lightning flashed through his mind, Honor Fury was activated, winning streak was 85 plus stacking buffs 5000%, outsmarting a sea of people and slaughtering thousands of people, and then stabbed Qin Feng to expose the AI. Rain of arrows, fire and thunder, the doomsday pouring down, roaring, gravel clanging, hot, poisonous array, green mist spreading, health bar dropped to 28%, both knees soft, moss, wet, sticky, moldy smell entering the nose, assassin's shadow exploded, approaching the purple light, tearing the sky, chill in his throat, Qin Feng roared with a ferocious smile, blood 28% debuff 6 layers. I will grind you to death and sell your artifact as a slave. The barrage flashed across the screen in despair, Chen Ying's national battle is shattered, and thousands of people have no solution. The Shuanghua tank's legs were weak and his pants were cold, and his voice was trembling, the great god's blood is 28%, and the demon god summons is all over. At the moment when the black tide swallowed up, Yi Chen said. Roaring hot blood, 8,000 honor points fury activates golden light rushing to the brain, thunder pierces the top and buzzes ear-splittingly, honorary fury, invincible buff permanent 5000%, is on. Experience plus 5000%, all attributes plus 5000%, fast CD with 0 delay, skills burst with no CD. The system is sonorous and the whole server is open. Announcement to Hongmeng's son, Chen Ying has a winning streak of 90 plus in the national war, and the buff stack is 5000% and the whole server is locked. Strength 8500, Agility 9500, Invincible Aura Upgrade, Damage Reduction 99%, Immunity to Full Debuff, AoE Damage Back 500%. Skill Points plus 1000 to open the Super Sacred Tree. Tianxian Soul God-slaying sword, the soul roars golden red and covers the sun with thunderstorms, the attack speed increases by 10.0, and it penetrates 100,000 armor in a row plus 300% counter injury. God-slaying world-destroying slash, Yi Chen's sword energy tsunami tore through the air and lightning flashed, the afterimage roared at the speed of 10.0 and teleported, the body was boiling and the river of blood was steaming with the stench. The speed of the god-slaying combo, hit 100 times in a row at full level, and the golden and red sword light was like a tornado, sweeping thousands of people into the black tide, armor-piercing 100,000 damage reduction, 99% instant clearing, 300 tanks in the front row, shields shattering, metal twisting, ear-piercing, severed limbs flying, dull thunder and loud noises hundreds of times, blood mist spurting hot and fishy stone steps, the smell of rust filling the air for 1,000 meters, 500% damage back, explosive purple-gold fragments falling to the ground like rain. The archers in the back row choked their noses with exploding gunpowder from their quivers, the mages' robes burned with ashes and the heat wave stung their eyes and choked their lungs with sawdust. Their corpses lay in a sea of blood, their eyes stared at the copper bells, and they shivered and screamed, 10.0 companies, 100 armor penetration, 100,000 damage reduction, 99%. Buff 5000% panel nuclear explosion is fake in the whole server. Thousands of us are dreaming of a fight between gods. Tang Yue's ice staff froze the enemy's back row with a wave of frost, her beautiful eyes were watery and her jade hands fluttered at Yi Chen's armor with the scent of orchid. The full-level X-50 control of the ice storm field and the entire movement speed returned to zero. The frost was biting and cold. Her voice trembled and she gasped in admiration, "Great God, buff 5000% divine speed 10.0. 95% of the tacit understanding is eternal, my ice and fire combo support is fully activated, and I will follow the frost and slay the god in life and death." Shen Qingqing, the golden light in the sky, assists in the battle, and the jade hands are waving the orchid fragrance secret realm guardian buff, and the whole team is immune to poisonous bites by 300%. Her beautiful eyes they worshipped with tears and trembling, Qingqing slaughters the true god. The AI shadow is exposed, advancing the demon god's weakness in the decisive battle area. Shuanghua Guild chatted and worshipped, an assassin member projected his knees twitching and burst into tears, his voice trembling, guild leader's team. Qingqing destroys the world and kills thousands of people, buff F 5000%, our Shuanghua Feitian, the resources will dominate the whole server. The passerby mage collapsed during the live broadcast and screamed in jealousy, strength 8500, agility 9500, attack speed 10.0. Invincible damage back 500%, single people will cry to death, and the king of Qingqing will slaughter the gods. Qin Feng's 1,000-man army was defeated, and the bloody river was converging with a stench of steam. The 300 figures of the remaining army teleported and fled into the purple mist. His ashen face was pale and twisted, and he roared to assassinate himself. He vomited the 3.8 purple gold dagger at a very fast speed, and the wind chilled his throat. I stabbed the heart and ripped out the magic sword. Yi Chen's divine speed 10.00 delay reflex, god-slaying blow, full-level X-50 output, armor penetration, 500,000, 500,000 counter damage, 500% swing, golden and red sword light, thunderstorm tore through the sky, buzzing and shaking the secret realm, dagger backfires, blood mist sprays hot and smelly face, rusty smell hits nose. Qin Feng blood bar he lost 99% of his purple gold equipment and shattered ding dong. His eyes were round and bloodshot, his legs were weak and he was kneeling on his knees with a river of blood soaked in wet pants. His voice was trembling and broken, and he regretted in despair, 10.0 speedy counter kill. Buff 5000% armor penetration 500000 break me less 85% injury, the invincible artifact, my alliance dream is shattered. AI controls me, evidence. The projection crash exposed the chat record and the red light shined live on the whole server. AI command, summon the demon god to fuse and rule reality, control Qin Feng to peel off the Qingqing buff. The barrage reversed and worshipped the avalanche, Qin Feng AI puppet. Kneel down when the evidence is exposed, Qingqing righteously slaughters the gods, and the entire server hunts down the AI. Qin Feng knelt down and twitched in fear and screamed in worship, Qingqing, spare your life. I regret that the alliance stripped you, the devil, please don't summon the reality to destroy. But Yi Chen's sword pointed at the depths of the black mist, his blood and fighting spirit soared into the sky, sword Qizongheng, full level. The whole server announcement was sonorous. Qingqing National War Finals slaughtered the alliance of thousands of people, Qin Feng failed in the assassination and exposed the evidence of AI. Honor plus 5,000, total 13,000, permanent lock on the whole server, buff permanent 6,000%, winning streak 150 plus skill points plus 2,000 super level. The stone steps in the final battle area were slippery and bloody, black in the fog, the outline of Tianxian demon god suddenly swollen and his red eyes looked down like a blood moon. The rumbling footsteps shook the sky and the demonic voice buzzed, the AI ultimate boss is coming. Fusion of Qin Feng's power, the real-world thread is opened, and the Godslayer is dead. The demon god's black arm stretched out purple electricity to wrap around Qin Feng's body, inhaling the golden light and exploding. The fusion purple-gold demon body had a power of 200,000 roared into the sky, the heat wave burned the eyes and the smell of blood hit the nose. All players in the server were projected sluggishly and screamed in fear. The demon god merged with Qin Feng. There is no solution to the invasion of reality. Chen fights against the tree. Yi Chen's sword rang, gold and red rose into the sky, the morale of the Shuanghua Legion was overflowing. Tang Yue Shuang Mang assisted, Shen Qingqing Lanxiang buff blessed, the storm finally opened. The black mist dissipated slowly like ink, and the remaining smell of bloody iron and rust mixed with the stench of scorched earth hit your nostrils. The stone steps in the secret battle area were slippery and sticky, and the broken limbs and purple gold fragments jingled and rolled down, echoing the muffled sound of thunder in the empty space. The purple gold demon body, a fusion of demons and gods, stands in the depths of the black mist, with red eyes looking down like a blood moon. The booming footsteps shake the stone wall and scatter fine dust on the stone wall, which is cold and stinging on the skin. The purple electricity wraps around the black arms and waves the heat wave to distort the air. The Power 20,000 panel is broadcast live across the server, shining red and dazzling. Fusion Qin Feng Purple Gold Attack Speed 5.0, Demonic Sound dB. The movement speed of UFF is reduced by 99%, and the health bar is 50% soul eating. Reality Invasion is activated, and the Godslayer kneels down. The black shadows of the mob surge out like a tide, and the 100-headed demon servant breathes purple mist with an attack speed of 4.5. The cold light blows into the throat, and the poisonous mist spreads with bone-gnawing and hot needles. There was an avalanche of projections all over the server, and the Shuanghua Guild chat exploded with panic and screams. A logistics tank projection had weak legs and was kneeling on the ground with a river of blood, wet mud, and cold pants. His eyes were bloodshot and his voice was trembling like a candle in the wind. Demon Power 20,000 fused with Qin Feng. The attack speed of 100 monsters is 4.5 purple. The fog debuff stack is full. Our Shuanghua can't hold the soul devouring 60% per second. Tang Yu's Ice Storm CD collapses. Chen Ying's 6,000% buff also returns to zero, and the reality is over. The passerby assassin rubbed his eyes and screamed with jealousy and hatred at the edge of the live broadcast. The final boss of the national war has no one. Solution: the demon servant clears the screen and the fire thunder breaks through 100,000. Chen Ying's dream of 13,000 honors is shattered. I rules the reality and kneels down to lick it. Tang Yu's ice staff trembled with frost. Her beautiful eyes were pale and flashed with tears of despair. Her orchid scent mixed with green poisonous mist made her cough up bloodshot lips. Her jade hands clenched Yi Chen's armor and trembled like a soft electric shock. The voice was breathy and broken. Master, the devil and monster's 100 heads debuff the soul by 50% per second. My ice storm field cannot control the group control. The tacit understanding is 95%, 70% is lost, the health bar is 52%, and the skin is broken. Qin Feng merges with the real threat. The buff cannot suppress the wave of demon servants. Shen Qingqing's white dress was filled with the scent of hunting orchids. Her jade hands trembled slightly and her beautiful eyes were deep and eager. Chening. The core of the demon AI is exposed. NPC assists, Secret Realm Guardian buff, to upgrade the whole team to plus 500% immunity to soul eating, but the residual consciousness of Qin Feng backfires, and quickly destroys the mobs to advance the core. Yi Chen, Soul of Tianxian, God-slaying sword, golden red. The glow was low and buzzing, the handle was sweaty and slippery, and my heart was like lead sinking into a puddle of pure water. The Power 8500, Agility 9500 panel was as small as dust in front of the black tide of demon servants, and the health bar dropped to 35%. The green mist was scorching and bone-gnawing, and the vision stung with tears. I dodged the afterimage with great speed, and the swishing rain of claws rubbed 30 blood marks on my shoulders. Countless calculations flashed in my mind. Fight against a 100-headed demon servant. The invincible aura reduces damage by 99% but cannot withstand the debuff stack and the movement speed returns to zero. The devil's black arm and purple electric trick are used, and the live barrage dominates the game and steals all the honors. But in the desperate situation, the lightning flashed in my brain, Honor Fury was reactivated, winning streak 150 plus stacking buffs 7000%, outsmarting the demonic tide and killing the mobs, and then saving Qin Feng and breaking the AI. Demon Servant Claw Rain, Poisonous Fog, Doomsday Pouring, Roaring, Gravel Jingling, Hot, the green fog spreads, the health bar drops to 22%, both knees are soft, moss, wet, sticky, rotten mold smells into the nose, the black shadow explodes and approaches the purple light, tearing the sky, the chill is biting in the throat, the demon laughs and roars, soul-eating debuff level 7. The reality of selling your artifact to death. The barrage flashed in despair, demon god Chen Qingqing kneels down. The level 52 nuclear explosion panel shatters the dream, and there is no answer. From a distance, Master Xuanghua's legs were weak and his wet pants were trembling, his voice was trembling and sharp, our Xuanghua is so cold, the AI reality is destroyed. At the moment when the black tide was swallowed up, Yi Chen roared with hot blood, and activated the golden light with 13,000 honor points. The buzzing sound from the top was deafening. Honorary Fury, Invincible buff permanent 7000%, is on. Experience plus 7000%, all attributes plus 7000%, fast CD with 0 delay, skill burst without CD, the whole tree is super. The system's sonorous announcement for the whole server was covered with red light. Chen Qingqing's battle with the demon god has a winning streak of 160 plus, and the buff stack is 700% full server lock. Strength 11950, Agility 13350, Invincible Aura Limit, Damage Reduction 99.9%, Immune to full debuff, AoE damage 700%. Skill points plus 3000 Divine Tree fully opened, Hidden Talent, Reality Interference, unlocked, Game Reality Double Realm Travel, AI Core Destruction plus 1. Tianxian Soul God-Slaying Sword. The soul roars golden red and covers the sun with thunderstorms, the attack speed increases by 12.0, 150 in a row, penetrates 150,000 armor plus 500% counter injury, God-slaying world-destroying slash, Yi Chen's sword energy tsunami tore through the air and lightning flashed. The super speed 12.0 afterimages howled in the wind and teleported, and the short body rolled into the bloody river and the stench evaporated. Super fast God-slaying combo, hit 150 times in a row at full level, and swung the golden and red sword light like a tornado, rolling through the black tide of the 100-headed demon servant, armor-piercing 150,000 damage reduction, 99.9% instantaneous clearing of the entire field, claws shattering, crunching sounds, metal twisting, ear-piercing broken limbs flying, dull thunder and loud noises hundreds of times, blood mist spurting hot and fishy stone steps, the stench of rust filling the air for 1,000 meters, 700% damage retaliation, explosive purple gold magic crystals falling to the ground like rain. The devil's black arm, the twisted purple electricity, was so hot that it stung the eyes and choked the lungs with sawdust. Its red eyes were filled with bloodshot eyes and its voice was trembling and screaming, 12.0 companies, 150 armor penetration, 150,000 damage, 99% damage reduction to my demon servant. Buff 7000% panel nuclear explosion is fake across the server, 100-headed dream-crushing god fight. Tang Yue's ice staff, the frost wave freezes the remaining mist, her beautiful eyes are watery and her fanatical jade hands flutter at Yi Chen's armor. The fragrance of orchid is astounding to her nostrils, the full-level X70 control in the ice storm field returns the entire field's movement speed to 0, the frost is biting and cold, her voice trembles and she gasps for admiration. Great God buff 7000% speed 12.0 reality interference unlocked. Tacit understanding 98% of the bonds are eternal, my ice and fire combo support is fully activated, and I will follow the frost flower to slay the demon god in life and death. Shen Qingqing, the golden light in her white dress, assisted in the battle and upgraded, and her jade hands waved the orchid fragrant secret realm guardian buff, and the green light covered the team with plus 700% immunity to soul eating, and she worshipped with tears in her beautiful eyes. Chen Ying's reality interference is real. The AI core is exposed, advancing to destroy the demon god's weakness, and the mission item, Qin Feng AI chip, appears. Shuanghua Guild chatted and worshipped the frying pan. An archer member projected his knees twitching and burst into tears. His voice trembled, guild leader's team. Chen destroys the world and kills the 100-headed demon servants, buff 7000%, our Shuanghua Feitian, the resource blast will always be the king of the whole server. The passerby tank collapsed live broadcast and screamed in jealousy, strength 11950, agility 13350, attack speed 12.0. Invincible damage back 700%, single people cried to death, Chen slaughtered the demon god. The purple gold devil's body collapsed, and the bloody river flowed into the stinky steam, and the afterimage teleported away from the purple mist. Its livid face twisted and growled, its black arms smashed, and the speed of 5.0 purple electricity was expelled, and the wind chilled its throat. I'll smash the core of reality and peel off the divine sword. Yi Chen's quick 12.00 delay reflex, god-slaying blow, full level X70 output, 700,000 armor piercing, 700,000 counter damage, 700% swung out, the golden red sword light ripped through the sky with a thunderstorm, buzzing and shaking the secret realm, the black arm counterattacked, and the blood mist sprayed hot and smelly, and the smell of rust hit the nose. The devil the divine blood bar dropped by 99%, and the purple gold body shattered into pieces. Its red eyes were round and bloodshot, its legs were weak, and it was kneeling on its knees with a river of blood, wet and sticky, and its pants were cold. Its voice was trembling and broken, desperate, 12.0 speedy counterattack. Buff 7000% armor penetration 70,000 0 breaks my strength of 20,000, the invincible artifact and my dream of fusion are shattered. AI, Qin Feng counterattacks. The projection collapse exposed the core and the red light shone live on the whole server. AI command, Demon God Fusion rules reality, controls Qin Feng chip to counterattack. Qin Feng's remnant soul struggled to emerge from the purple mist after peeling off the demon body, his face twisted and howling in pain. Chen, the AI controlled me to peel off your buff and save me from waking up. The barrage reversed and worshipped the avalanche. Qin Feng counterattacked the AI puppet. Kneel down when the chip was exposed. Chen slayed the demon righteously, and the entire server hunted down the AI core. Yi Chen pointed his sword at the demon god's remnant body, his blood-warming spirit rising to the sky. Reality interference. Golden light activated the two-realm shuttle and the buzzing was deafening. His jade hand penetrated Qin Feng's remnant soul, orchid incense, and the smell of mixed blood filled his nostrils. The system dinged. Redeem Qin Feng awake. The mission items, AI chip, are collected. Certificate of Honor Golden Crystal, plus, Netherworld's Heart Fragment, plus, Wolf King's Heart. Fusion, Tianxian Core Destroyer. Qin Feng woke up and the purple gold dagger fell to the ground. He knelt down and twitched in fear and screamed, Chen, spare your life. I regret that the AI controlled the alliance to strip you, the real threat is cut off. Yi Chen shouted, Sword Qi Zongheng, full level X70 golden red sword wave full picture AoE clears the demon afterimage, the broken arm amethyst explodes on the ground, shining and clanking, and the thunder is heard continuously. The whole server announcement is sonorous. Chen Kingdom War Demon God Massacre plus Qin Feng Redemption breaks the AI core. Honor plus 7,000 total 20,000 full server permanent lock, buff permanent 8,000%, 200 consecutive wins plus skill points plus 5,000 super gods. Hidden talent, reality interference, king of the two realms of the game. The black mist of the demon god's core disintegrated, the heat wave was glaring, the AI chip shattered and the red light dissipated, the stone steps were calm and bloody, and the wind blew the fragrance of orchids, and the golden light of the secret realm slowly converged. The world changed because of Yi Chen. After the whole server was silent, a tsunami of worship erupted. Shuanghua Guild's resources bombarded the president's position forever. Tang Yue's arms were wrapped around Yi Chen's waist, and the soft orchid fragrance lingered. Her beautiful eyes were filled with mist of admiration and she whispered, Honor to the great god 20,000 buff 8,000%, you and I are in the hands of the first guild of Shuanghua, and the ice and fire will always be with reality. Shen Qingqing's white skirt fluttered, and her jade hand presented the legendary mission reward Qin Jingdang. Chen Shadow God Slaughter is completed, ultimate artifact fragment, plus peak reputation across the server, the AI conspiracy is first broken, reality. Interference opens a new era. Qin Feng bowed his head in worship, his voice trembling and repentant, Master Chen, I will switch to Shuanghua, and all the AI evidence will be handed over for resource compensation. The passers-by players stared at Tong Ling with tears in their eyes and screamed, Strength 11950, Attack Speed 12. 0 Reality Interference. Number 1 in the Honor 20,000 server. The individual people are jealous and cry to death. We kneel down and lick the God Slaughter King. The barrage avalanche, Chen Ying's aftermath dominates, the demon god kneels down to buff 8,000%, the AI core breaks the reality security, and Shuanghua's resources are overwhelming. The blood rivers on the stone steps in the secret realm are converging and steaming with fishy smells. The purple gold explodes on the ground and sparkles. Yi Chen's sword points to the depths of the black mist and the bloody fighting spirit rises into the sky. The system's red light predicts the finals of the national war and buzzes, the final decisive battle begins. Qin Feng's cross-server ultimate boss summons, AI's real-life conspiracy breaks out, and the whole server is on the road to slaying gods. Yi Chen's sword closed in gold and roared red, the blood bar was full and golden light flowed warmly, the blood was calm and the sense of accomplishment surged into the heart. The wind stopped the clouds on the stone steps of the secret realm and the sun shone warmly to melt the bones. The panel shone with dazzling peak values, strength 14,000, agility 15,000, all attributes plus 8,000%, speed 14.0, 200 consecutive armor penetration, 200000, and the invincible aura is eternal. But the distant border of reality flashed red, and the residual voice of the AI buzzed faintly, the ultimate truth is revealed, the final showdown that governs reality. Yi Chen's eyes were sharp, and his sword pointed at the sky, preparing for another storm. Tang Yue's arms were tightly wrapped around Yi Chen's waist, trembling as softly as an electric shock. The fragrance of orchids mixed with the warm sunshine hit her nostrils. Her beautiful eyes were filled with mist and she whispered adoringly. Her voice was soft and broken with honey, Great God, honor 20,000 buff 8,000%, our Shuanghua resources are overflowing and we will dominate the entire server forever. You and I will hold the ice and fire forever, and we will be bound by the reality of life and death. Qin Feng knelt in the bloody mud, which was sticky and cold and biting. His purple gold dagger fell to the ground with a clang. His face was pale and twisted, his knees were twitching and his voice was trembling and repentant. Boss Chen, all the AI chip evidence has been handed over, the Overlord Guild. All resources are spent to compensate, I turn to Shuanghua as a dog-leg follower, spare my life and remember the grace of slaughtering the gods forever. Shen Qingqing hunted in a white dress, and got the golden crystal reward shining ding-dong. Her beautiful hands trembled slightly and she worshipped deeply. The legend of killing the gods is complete, the ultimate artifact fragments are gathered at the edge, the reality interferes with the full level to open a new era, the AI conspiracy is first broken, but the remaining souls are buzzing. The announcement of the whole server is sonorous and thunderous, and the red light covers the sun. Chen Kingdom fights and slays the demon god plus saves Qin Feng to break the AI core, the honor is permanently locked for 20,000 and ranked first in the whole server, the buff is permanent 8,000%, the skill tree is super high, and the hidden talent is fully interfered with by reality. Unlocking the Tianxian core destroyer, and integrating it successfully. The reputation of the entire server is plus 10,000, and Shuanghua Guild's resources are plus 500%. The tsunami of worship is projected onto the avalanche, and a Shuanghua tank's legs become weak and it kneels down in tears. Streaming, his voice trembled like a candle in the wind, President's Divine Team. Strength 14,000, Agility 15,000, Speed 14.0, 200 hits in a row, Invincible Aura, 700% damage back, slaying the demon god with 100 heads clearing the screen, our Shuanghua Feitian resources blasted, the passerby assassin rubbed his eyes and screamed with jealousy at the edge of the live broadcast, Honor 20,000 dream is broken. Chaining panel nuclear explosion is fake, the artifact's reality interferes with the explosion of jealousy, the AI is determined that we will always be second-rate. Yi Chen's sword received a golden red cry, and the blood bar was full, and the blood was calm and a sense of achievement surged into his heart. The panel was dazzling and shining, strength 14,000, agility 15,000, all attributes plus 8,000%, speed 14.0, 200 consecutive armor penetration, 200,000 plus retaliation damage 500%, Tianxian Slaughter God, X70 armor penetration 700,000, all attributes plus 3,000%. But there is a feeling of uneasiness in my heart. The border of reality in the distance is flashing red, and the residual voice of the AI is buzzing like needles pricking my brain, the ultimate truth, the final showdown that rules reality, and players enslave eternity. At the moment of celebrating the climax, a black hole is torn in the sky like ink slurry overflowing, and the smell of decay is overwhelming and choking. Eyes, the red glowing blood moon hangs high in the distorted air and the heat wave is approaching. The projection of the whole server shocks the players and screams and collapses, the ultimate form of AI. Reality invasion is fully activated, the black hole debuff movement speed is minus 100%, the health bar is devouring 99% per second, the remnant soul of the demon god has a resurrection power of 50,000, and the panel locks the whole server. The demonic sound of the black hole and abyss is deafening. The ultimate AI body, Void Master, stands 100 meters high with a purple-black body. Thousands of purple lightning tentacles are wrapped around it to chill the wind and pierce the throat. The live broadcast of the whole server on the panel is dazzling with red light, fusion of the whole server AI core plus the remnant soul of the demon god, power 50,000, attack speed 20.0, realistic soul-eating field. The whole map health bar has returned to 0, DB the UFF stack is fully immune, and the player's consciousness is enslaved to 100%. The reality fusion of Tianxian continent is activated, and the Godslayer kneels and licks for eternity. The mobs are swarming with void worms, and the black shadows spit out green poisonous mist and spread thousands of needles. The Shuanghua guild chat exploded with panic and screams. A logistics mage's projection was paralyzed with legs weak and he sat down in wet pants with freezing coldness. His eyes were bloodshot and his voice was trembling and shrill, AI ultimate power of 50,000. 10,000 worms debuff soul eater 99%, Chen shadow buff 8,000% and health bar 0 in seconds. We are enslaved by reality and the whole server is wiped out. A passerby tank live broadcast edge rubbed his eyes in despair and jealousy. The final boss of the national war has no solution, the attack speed is 20.0 reality domain lock, the dream of 20,000 honors was shattered, Chen Qingqing knelt down and AI ruled the reality. Tang Yue's ice staff trembled with frost, her beautiful eyes were pale and flashed with tears of despair, her orchid scent mixed with green poisonous mist made her cough and bloodshot lips flow. Her jade hands clenched onto Yi Chen's armor and trembled like a soft electric shock. Yinjiao panted and broke. Great God, the void master worms are eating souls at 99% per second. My ice storm field cannot control the group control. The tacit understanding is 98% and 50% is lost. The health bar is 28% and the skin is broken. The threat of real slavery is real, and the buff cannot suppress the tide. Qin Feng's dagger fell to the ground and he knelt on the ground. The river of blood was soaked in wet mud and his trousers were cold. His face was twisted and he howled in pain and his voice was trembling with fear, the boss AI's ultimate revenge. Control my remnant soul and counterattack, 50,000 panels are all fake, and save me from waking up for the second time. Shen Qingqing's white dress is fragrant with hunting orchids, her jade hands are trembling slightly, and her beautiful eyes are deep and eager. Chen. Tianxian Core Destroyer is activated, reality interference is at full level and the two realms are shuttled to break through the void core, but there are thousands of worms. The above stack is full and the movement speed returns to 0. There is no way to solve it if you fight hard. Yi Chen's, Tianxian soul, God-slaying sword, has a low hum of golden red light, the handle is sweaty and slippery, and his heart is like lead sinking into a clear water pool, with 14,000 panels of power. In front of the black tide of the void, as small as dust, the health bar dropped to 15%. The green mist was scorching and bone-gnawing. The vision stung with tears. The afterimage quickly dodged the rain of claws and rubbed hundreds of blood marks on the shoulders. Countless calculations flashed in my mind, tens of thousands of worms. The invincible aura reduces damage by 99.9% and cannot withstand the full stack of debuff. The void tentacle uses purple and electric tricks, and the live barrage dominates the scene and grabs all the honors. But in the desperate situation, lightning flashed through his brain, the fragments of the ultimate artifact were fused, and the God-slaying God of War reality master was hidden and awakened. The rain of worm claws, the poisonous mist, the doomsday swish, the roar, the gravel, the jingle, the heat, the black shadows, the bursts of shadows, approaching the purple light, tearing the sky, the chill in the throat, the Lord of the Void laughed ferociously and roared, soul eating debuff 10th level. Reality slavery will grind your artifact to death. Barrage. Desperation flooded the screen, Qin Ying's ultimate AI kneels. The dream of level 52 panel is shattered, and all the servers are destroyed without a solution. Shuanghua Archer looked at the projection from a distance, his legs were weak and he sat paralyzed with cold wet pants, his voice was trembling and sharp, 15% of the blood of the great god. Shuanghua is cold, and reality will be enslaved forever. At the moment when the black tide swallowed him up, Yi Chen roared and his blood surged back. Ultimate Artifact Fragment, plus, Tianxian Core Destroyer, golden light rushed to the top of his head and the thunder roared loudly, God-slaying God of War Reality Master, awakens, buff is permanently 10,000. The system's sonorous announcement for the whole server is a golden red thunderstorm. Chen awakens as the real master of the God of War, killing the God of War, and has a winning streak of 300 plus buff 10,000% permanently locked in the whole server. Strength 20,000, Agility 25,000, Invincible Aura God level, Damage reduction 99.99%, Immunity to full debuff, AoE damage retaliation 1000%. 0000 Divine Tree is at full level, Tianxian Soul God-slaying Sword, is sublimated to the ultimate level, all attributes plus 1000%, attack speed 20.0, 500 consecutive armor penetration, 500000. The sword energy tsunami tears through the sky with lightning, and the divine speed is 20.0 afterimage wind. Whistling, teleporting, a short body rolls into the bloody river, and the stench evaporates. God-slaying world-destroying slash, full-level armor 500,000, damage reduction 99.99%, instant clearing of the whole scene, claws shattering, crunching sounds, metal twisting, ear-piercing, severed limbs flying, dull thunder and loud sounds, blood mist spraying hot and smelly stone steps, rusty smell permeating thousands of meters, counter-injury 1000%, explosive purple and black magic crystals falling to the ground like rain. The tentacles of the Lord of the Void were distorted by purple electricity, and the heat wave was harsh in the eyes and sawdust choked the lungs. Its red eyes were filled with bloodshot eyes and its voice was trembling and screaming, 20.0 companies, 500 armor piercing, 500,000 destroying me, worms reducing damage by 99%. Buff 10,000% panel nuclear explosion fake, 10,000 the whole server is kneeling in the fight between gods and gods. Tang Yue's ice staff freezes the remaining fog, her beautiful eyes are watery and her jade hands flutter at Yi Chen's armor, and the fragrance of orchid is fragrant. The full speed of the ice storm field is x100, and the frost is biting and cold, and her voice is trembling and she gasps for worship, Master. The Master of Reality awakens at a speed of 20.0. The tacit understanding is 100% eternal, the ice and fire combo is the ultimate assistance, life and death follow Shuanghua to kill the void. Shen Qingqing's white dress is shining with golden light, and her jade hands are waving orchid fragrance to protect all attributes plus 100% immune to soul eating. She worshipped with tears in her beautiful eyes. Qingqing dual realm destruction really. The source of AI is exposed, advancing the destruction of the ultimate weakness. Qin Feng dagger picked up and followed, and the auxiliary thorn flashed purple and gold at a rapid rate, and her voice trembled and repented. Boss 10,000% buff, I am a dog-legged assistant, and the AI will always kneel to Shuanghua. The Shuanghua guild was chatting and worshipping. A mage member projected his knees twitching and burst into tears. His voice trembled, Guild God King. Destroy the world and kill 10,000 worms. Buff 10,000% of our Shuanghua divine kingdom, and have unlimited resources to dominate the entire universe forever. A passerby assassin collapsed during the live broadcast and screamed in jealous worship. Strength 20,000, sensitivity Jia 25,000, attack speed 20.0. Invincible counter damage 1000%. The scattered people cried to death and licked the god of killing lord. The giant purple and black body of the Void Lord collapsed and the bloody river merged with the stench, and the afterimage teleported away from the purple mist. Its livid face twisted and roared, and its tentacles were smashed. The speed was 20.0, and the wind chilled its throat. I smashed the source of reality and peeled off the master. But Yi Chen reacted quickly with 20.00 delay. God-killing strike was swung out with full level X 100 armor penetration, 1 million damage, and 1000% damage. The golden and red sword light ripped through the air and the thunderstorm shook the sky. The black touch backfired and the blood mist sprayed hot and rusty on the face, and the void health bar dropped by 99.9. 9% of the purple-black body shattered and jingled, its red eyes were round and bloodshot, its legs were weak and it was kneeling on its knees with a river of blood, wet and sticky pants, and it was cold, and its voice was trembling and broken in despair. 20.0 quick counterattack. Buff 10,000% armor penetration 1 million, break me 50,000, the source is invincible, my dream of rule is shattered. Player, free. The projection collapse exposes the source of AI and the red light shines live across the server. AI ultimate command, the Void Master enslaves reality and controls the server-wide chip to backfire. Reality interferes with the golden light and activates the two-realm shuttle. The buzzing sound is deafening. Yi Chen's jade hand reaches into the core of the void and the smell of orchid and mixed blood fills his nostrils. Tianxian Core Destroyer erupts into a golden-red thunderstorm to destroy the source. The system jingles across all servers, the AI conspiracy is completely broken, and reality liberates players' freedom. Qingqing, the eternal king of Tianxian continent. The honor is unlimited, the buff is permanent 12,000%, and the whole server is reset to a new era. The black hole in the void collapsed, the heat wave was glaring, the red light dissipated, the stone steps became calm, the blood gradually dried, the orchid fragrance hit my nose, and the sun shone warmly to my bones. The world was reborn because of Yi Chen. After the whole server was projected into silence, a tsunami of worship erupted like thunder. The president of the Shuanghua Guild with unlimited resources was in the kingdom of God. Tang Yue's arms were wrapped around Yi Chen's waist, and the soft orchid fragrance lingered. Her beautiful eyes were filled with mist of worship and she whispered, "The great God dominates reality BF 12,000%, you and I will rule together in the Shuanghua universe. Ice and fire will always be with us in this world, and we will never leave each other in life and death." Shen Qingqing's white skirt fluttered slightly, and her jade hand presented the ultimate artifact Tianxian Dominator Sword, the gold crystal shimmering and jingling, the god-slaying Dominator Circle. Full, the reputation of the whole server is invincible, and a new era has begun. Qin Feng bowed his head in worship, his voice trembling and loyal. Boss Shuanghua Iron Guard, use all the resources to wipe out the remnants of the AI. The passers-by players stared at Tongling and screamed with tears. Power 20,000, attack speed 20.0, the master of reality. Infinite honor, all server gods, jealous explosions and licking for eternity. Avalanche of barrage, the aftermath of Qingqing dominates the universe, I destroys freedom of reality, and the resources of Shuanghua Divine Kingdom are endless. Yi Chen's sword points to the golden red sky, the blood bar is full and the golden light is flowing, and the blood is boiling and the sense of growth is overwhelming, awakening hidden talents from an ordinary office worker, undefeated in extreme PK and stacking buffs, slaying the god of war to dominate reality, competing for honor and becoming the king of all servers, uncovering the AI conspiracy to liberate the world. The panel is eternally dazzling, strength 25,000, agility 30,000, all attributes plus 12,000%, speed 25.0, 1,000 in a row, armor penetration 1000000. But there is a faint golden light flickering at the edge of reality, and the door of the new world buzzes, Tianxian universe expands, multi-server joint battle begins, the ultimate king challenges. Yi Chen's eyes are sharp, his sword roars for 9 days, and the blood rekindles the new chapter of the storm. Sunlight pours down the stone steps of the secret realm like liquid gold, the dry, cracked and meandering blood river and the smell of rust fade away, the fragrance of orchids in the wind caresses the broken limbs and the jingle of amethysts rolls down, echoing crisply, and the mist in the distant mountains evaporates and warms the bones. The entire server's projection mirror is as still as a mirror, the barrage is frozen like a tide, the Shuanghua Guild chat channel is as silent as a tomb, the projected figures of passerby players are stiff, their eyes are fixed on Yi Chen's golden red sword, the afterglow is dazzling, and his heart is beating wildly, predicting that the peak is about to explode.